time, or Kyle, I don't know what you're going to be doing back there. Now, we'll dive into a little bit as to why I was so inept not to be able to utilize my phone to find the place. But this is a story among stories. First time I've ever had to be escorted by the police department to a Backyard Bourbon broadcast, and I cannot thank those guys enough. And hopefully they come back by and hang out with us and have some Ford's Garage food, because this is the final Backyard Bourbon broadcast, number 3 for 2020. Ford's Garage, as I mentioned, is going to bring the food out here. We've got Fat Tire Beer. I know Ryan Stoltz is here. We've got New Belgium Brewery, and Brent Holverson's already stirring it up over there. Brent, we'll talk to Brent in a little bit from Heaven Hill Distillery, as he always does. But the homeowner is Zach Meggy, who just got a little bit of the story, because literally I just blew in here. You go, wait a minute. Why? Well, the police are here. What's going on? Which normally this happens at parties that I have, just not in that fashion. Were you surprised when the police brought somebody here that was actually going to do the show?
Very.
Little surprised?
Yeah. Thought you had a problem.
Yeah, I had a huge problem. Just not that type of problem. I was having a huge problem. But, yeah, this is the first to be escorted by the local police department here to a Backyard Bourbon broadcast. Hey, thanks for having us, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Looking forward to a great afternoon. You already got the Greenfield's finest out here.
Did.
So they're going to be keeping an eye on us all evening.
they are. I'm going to bring them back over here. They were awesome. I mean, I could not believe how far out I was. I mean, I was going back towards Indy. I mean, I was out there. And then the way they explained it to me, I thought, there's no way I'm going to miss that Oak Street like crazy, or Oak Boulevard, or whatever it is here, man. But they were great for doing that. We're here with you. You got a great backyard here. How long have you lived here?
We've been here about 10 years. Just redid this 3 or 4 years ago. So enjoy it. Besides, I'm constantly chasing kids around, but we try to get out here as much as possible.
Well, yeah, this is the best part about it. A lot of the backyards we go to, I mean, you got the backyard area, so you are the epicenter of what's going on with your kids. So their friends come over, so you always know where everybody is. All you got to do is look out the back door, right?
Perfect.
All right, so we got some food coming up. I'm assuming you're already diving into the Brent Holverson Heaven Hill Distillery. What you got working there, Zach?
I have no idea. He didn't tell me.
Oh, he better guess. Sometimes you just got to guess.
He just drops drinks off.
He just drops. Now, and you know our friend Mark Gavin, who's over there as well.
Absolutely.
Mark Gavin. I was going to try to call him next because Brent wasn't answering. He was trying to set up, and I was going to call Gavin and go, I have no idea where I am right now. And luckily I was brought here. But, no, awesome time. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate that, and we'll have a party here. That's what it's all about.
Let's let it roll.
All right, Zach Meggy right there. Did I get your last name right the entire time?
You most certainly did.
Zach Meggy, that's where we are in Greenfield. And, again, thank you to Greenfield's finest for bringing me here, Andrew and Brock, man. Props, beyond props, beyond props for doing that. It was absolutely awesome, and I truly do appreciate it. And again, those guys, just come on back over with us. Come on back over and grab some food and hang out. Hey, otherwise, we got the phones at 239-1070. We got the email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. On Twitter at JMV1070. Hey, go ahead and make fun of a guy. I don't know if that's a sign of senility setting in or what. I'm 50 years old. Maybe it is. But I was completely backwards right there. I mean, I was going in the wrong direction entirely. And literally, I got in here just as we were going to play the Open. So it was absolutely incredible. So we'll talk to Brent Holverson in a minute. Ryan Stoltz. Hey, Ryan, come on over here, too. Are you good to go? Ryan Stoltz of Fat Tire is here. New Belgium Brewing, as always, with us, bringing the beer. This is the third and final one. You guys just jumped on board this year. Have you had a really good time this summer?
Oh, I love it. It's kind of bittersweet.
It is. Well,
yeah.
it always is. The final one is always bittersweet. No question.
Something to look forward to, every month, and now it's the last one. But it's been awesome. I've been so appreciave of you, and it's been a great time.
Well, I mean, you now know you're a part of the family.
Yes.
And hopefully you want to do this again next year. You'll get endless mentions all the time with me.
Love it.
Because when you're in the family, you're going to get endless like Andrew and Brock are going to get endless mentions.
For getting you here.
I mean, I'm screwed, man. I mean, I was literally – I've never been late for a show in my life. I got stuck on I-70 behind – I don't even know what the hell it was. It was just somebody, making sure everybody was trying to go left, or I don't know what it was. I got stuck on I-70, and I cleared that, and I got plenty of time. And then I can't find this place. Not even my phone sent me all out out to the west, and
I thought you were going to ticket.
Host.
I thought you were going to ticket when you pulled up.
They both pulled. That was awesome.
We were all like, "What's going on?
What is going? You guys,
no idea."
The story. These guys were all in the garage going, "Wait a minute!" JMV just showed up with a couple of policemen. What's happening here?
Yeah,
and,
we were.
That's the reason why. But those guys were awesome. They really were.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and then, next year I'm looking forward to it again, and I'm just glad we did it.
Yeah.
In February or whatever, we talked about it, and then I had no idea from then, whether we're going to do it or not. So it's awesome that we.
Well, and that's part of it too. I mean, we love having you guys as partners, and you guys and Brent with Evan Williams and and Connecticut and Ford's Garage is on just like you guys for the first time this year, and it has been such a fantastic time. I wish the thing that really stands out to me is I want to have one of these for everybody that enters. I do want to have one of the, and there's only so many. You only get to do 3. I wish we did them maybe a couple of times a month. But, man, when you do them, it is a blast. And you get to meet a lot of nice people in the process,
yeah,
too.
Of course. And, being a fan of these previous to getting on board,
right?
You know what these are all about. And so I come out here, and this is – people need to enter because it's the real deal. It's great.
All right, New Belgium Brewing. This Ryan Stoltz right here. Tell us a little bit about the product, Fat Tire beer that you have over here.
I also brought a pumpkin beer. I know it's a little early.
Pumpkin beer,
I brought
everybody.
a pumpkin beer.
Well, I mean, if Starbucks is going to fire up the pumpkin spice latte, right? It's time for you to go ahead and get the pumpkin beer.
I did. I brought our Atomic Pumpkin. It's a habanero pumpkin beer. So you get the sweetness of the pumpkin and a little spice and a little heat with the habanero pepper. So
a little habanero in there.
Yes, it's delicious. So I'll get you one. You can try it. Try a little bit later on.
We will have to try that.
And then, we're getting ready for 2021 with our new products. I don't know. Usually in September we go out to the brewery, our national marketing meeting, and see what's going to happen. But this year's all virtual, so I don't know what's on board for next year. We don't know.
How many new things do you guys normally introduce to the world?
Usually we have one big staple, one big massive launch of something, and then a couple other new IPAs or some other beers. So maybe 3 to 4 a year. So we'll see. I don't know. It's a whole new world right now.
Boy, it is a whole new world right now, isn't it?
And it's
really
usually my favorite week of the year, going out to Colorado for a week and hanging out with all my coworkers. And
now, where is the place? And where's the
Fort Collins? Fort Collins. So it's about an hour and a half north of Denver.
That's where Colorado State. I have been up there before, so I know exactly.
It's awesome town. What
you're talking about.
Yes,
and New Belgium is just for, we talked about how it all started, but man, with that and Fat Tire, it is just taking off and
having a good year right now. People are drinking beer, and we're getting ready for our usually the fall is our big beer drinking. People are watching football and hanging out at bars and stuff. So we've had a great summer. So we'll see what happens with the fall.
How was this year during this pandemic? Basically going all the way back to mid-March to right now. Have you seen a rise in beer purchasing, unlike you have seen over a 5+ month period before?
We have seen a big rise in 12-pack purchasing. Usually people buy a 6-pack, but I think they're going out to stores and buying a bigger pack so they can make it last a little bit longer. So our 12 packs are really starting to blow up.
I got B105.7 tomorrow night with the JMV Takeover. We're giving away a bar restock with Heaven Hill Distillery, and so people are running out. I mean, people are at home so much, and you got this great place here with the Meggie family. They got this great bar back here, TV and everything. I mean, you're going through your alcohol in a big hurry.
Yes, they are. They think they have enough, and then they're like, oh my gosh, we're out again, so we need to go back to the store.
Tell folks where they can get your products, Fat Tire, the intro or the pumpkin beer that we're going to try.
Pumpkin beer, those are at every liquor store around. Most Kroger's carrying that right now too, which are probably going to go pretty quick. We'd like to keep it till October, but probably be gone by the end of the year. And then I actually brought you some barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce,
we got barbecue sauce. We got beer-inspired barbecue sauce, which is a brand new thing. So three different flavors, and I'm going to
now I got to check that out.
Yes.
Tell me about the beer-inspired barbecue sauce.
So we have a Fat Tire barbecue sauce, 1554, which is our dark ale barbecue sauce, and then the Voodoo Ranger, which is a spicy barbecue sauce.
Nice.
Delicious.
Now, is this on the market right now?
This is in select stores. It's kind of hard to find. The best thing to probably do is go on newbelgium.com, and you can get it. I think it's $17 for the 3-pack.
They're
awesome.
I got to try that.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of barbecue sauce.
Yes, you should. I got them over there for you. You can try them out.
That is awesome. Ryan Stoltz, New Belgium Brewing.
Thank you.
Fat Tire Beer. First year on the Backyard Bourbon broadcast. You're going to be down again next year, too? That is awesome right there.
Backyard
Bourbon broadcast. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan Stoltz here We're in the backyard of the Meggie family, and we're ready to fire things up. I mentioned Derek Schultz going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Derek Schultz, of course, here locally. We've talked before, sports-wise, about stuff that's going on. I mentioned the NBA is refiring, coming up tomorrow with the postseason down in the bubble in Orlando. And you've got 5 teams, including the Pacers, trying to track down a new head coach. And one of the things I talked about, at least the past couple of days, as far as the head coaching search, this has to be a lights-out hire. The one thing that's hard to understand, and I even told you this going back a month, and nobody else around here, hey, thank you very much, Ryan. That looks awesome. Thank you very much. Nobody else around here was talking about Mike D'Antoni. And, of course, here on this show, you listen after 3. That's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get what's going on. And we talked about Mike D'Antoni and how, we had been told that Mike D'Antoni was a guy of interest. So it kind of made sense when they got down to the bubble, and we heard that rumor that Jeff Van Gundy was on a podcast talking about how Nate McMillan was on the hot seat. And believe me, I mean, the Pacers, we'll see where they go with the next head coach, but there were some things that the Pacers, could have done better. The whole Herb Simon not, calling and talking to Nate, the whole, putting his record. I know that that's his record. Bobby Marks brought this up yesterday, putting his record on the press release that he was being relieved of his duties. All that aside, I think the one thing we can all sit here, and maybe not all of us, but most of us, is that what you saw from that team, it looked like it needed some sort of offensive infusion. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not the pieces that they have cobbled together here for this team are going to be workable. Are going to be workable. We didn't like the whole ISO stuff, and that was, part of the reason, if you remember Jay Michael's article of a couple of days ago, that also led to, the Pacer players organizationally wanting to make a change because, there was not an inspiring offensive philosophy to the level in which they wanted. I guess the question you would absolutely have to ask here, if it's a guy like D'Antoni, do you have those pieces on call on your team right now on this roster that can play inside that type of offense? Because I think it's one thing to suggest, you got to have a new offense and you got to play differently and you want to shoot a high volume of threes. You don't get enough threes. The thing that sticks out to me more so than anything else from this Pacer team, does anybody know when you look at the teams that have a high rate of success in the NBA, what do they normally do? And I know now shooting and making a high number of three-pointers is right there, but it's being able to produce from the free throw line, and that means getting to the free throw line in general, which this team simply does not do near enough. And we can make arguments all day about the rebounding. Arguments all day long about the rebounding. They got it was like a 6th grade team to a 3rd grade team in rebounding in that 4th game that the Heat beat them earlier this week. But you got to have a team that's capable, that's able, that getting to the free throw line. And it's easy to sit here and say higher volume of 3 opportunities, but if you don't have the personnel, how are you going to end up doing that? And if you look at it on paper, the Pacers don't look like they have the personnel to play the type of game that you see certainly in Houston with Mike D'Antoni. Now, the other part of this is, too, the market. You've got 5 other teams out there. How many of these other teams would not or would maybe want to take a shot at Mike D'Antoni? Where if I'm not suggesting he's going to have his pick. It kind of sounds, we say his name so much, and because Adrian Wojnarowski backed up what we talked about a month ago and said that the Pacers, if D'Antoni was going to become available, was going to be a target for their head coaching vacancy. We talk about him so much. It kind of sounds like we're talking about Phil Jackson or John Wooden or something. He's not Phil Jackson or John Wooden. He is a really good offensive coach. Now, as far as, absolute results, you can talk about how, the regular season, he's had good regular seasons. They scored a high volume. They have a fantastic offense to watch. But it hasn't always worked out in the postseason, which was the issue with Nate McMillan here. Nate McMillan won plenty of games in the regular season. Nate McMillan was just so awful in the postseason. That sticks out like a sore thumb, even if you can make the excuse or give examples as to why that happened. You know, injuries, whether it was Vic a year ago or Sabonis this year. I mean, you can justify that in a debate on, Nate McMillan staying. But again, I think people just kind of look at the bottom line. And you look at the bottom line of the postseason, and then you look at the offense that I think everybody, including those within the Pacers organization, felt needed a significant upgrade. But again, the problems you are going to encounter is, if you want that upgrade, do they have the personnel on this roster to make that upgrade? I mean, are you going to have the opportunity to go out and change some things up somewhat dramatically here? You're going to be able to do that, considering we don't even know when the season's going to start. Yeah, you had to push back the season start. You had to push back the draft. You had to push back free agency. We don't even know what we're dealing with right now. So to just bring in a coach and say, okay, here's his offensive philosophy, now do it with these guys, that is an incredibly bad approach. And you can look at it this way. I mean, would you want to see – I mean, I know all of you want to see Miles go, or most of you do, with the exception of me, but would you want to see significant changes in guys that have been a part of this team and guys that played well, certainly in games inside the bubble and those 8 regular season games to end, whether you're talking about Philly or the Lakers or Houston? Would you want to see guys like that have to go because they seemingly would not fit into an offensive lineup / philosophy like a Mike D'Antoni has? And we talked about Kenny Atkinson yesterday with Michael Grady, too, who he kind of described as Mike D'Antoni light, and got relieved of his duties before the beginning of the bubble down in Orlando. I mean, you know what's going on there. They just clearly want somebody else to coach up that team once both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant get back. But talking about here, where the margin of error is so small, where ownership wants you to win, doesn't want you to backpedal in hopes of getting a high draft lottery selection where you can find that elite level NBA player that they've been chasing now for a long time. It's easier said than done than doing that. That's a fine line you really got to toe here if you're Kevin Pritchard and Chad Buchanan. Now, it's interesting. Most people think that they've had this change in head coach the entire time. I would like to think, because I was told a month ago about Mike D'Antoni, that certainly there was thought there. And then once the end of the season came around, and you were watching it, and so many people were so vocal about wanting a change that you ended up getting it. And it certainly made it easier to sell to fans. I think really the only people that have been upset about this change and going in this direction have been a couple of columnists. That's basically about it. We'll talk to Mike Wells about that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. I think he's live in suburban Chicago at the BMW. We'll get Mike on here, and we'll talk about whether or not he felt that Nate McMillan should have had at least another year because of the injury situation, or was enough and was a change necessary. As you've heard me, I'm on the side of a change was necessary. I thought a change offensively was needed. But to say that you're going to go play this style, yet you don't have those types of players, and you're a Pacer team where you struggle to get bodies in here in general. This is not a destination location by any stretch of the imagination. And by the way, we still haven't discussed where Victor Oladipo is in all of this. I saw where Nate McMillan said that the relationship with he and Oladipo has been good. Oladipo calls him this and that. Now, listen, the players were vocal about not wanting to play in Nate's style any longer. And you didn't hear too much about Victor Oladipo, but I had heard that a month ago. I had heard that, that was not the style that he wanted to play. And this, as I've told you before, goes all the way back to Paul George. Paul George was extremely vocal during and then once he left here about the offensive philosophy, basically telling some guys, hey, if you stick around playing with within this system, you're never going to be the type of player that you could be. Thus, we have a change that we shall discuss at 239-1070. If I've missed you the past couple of days, please feel free to jump on here, and we will talk about that. We're less than 2 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. I saw this reported, Kyle. Has this been released yet? Is it 15% now down at Lucas Oil Stadium? I saw this, I think, courtesy of the IBJ a little bit earlier today. Has this been officially announced that the Colts and the percentage of fans is down to 15 for Lucas Oil Stadium to start the season? Have you seen that at all?
I have not seen that at all, but I'll look for it.
I saw that via the IBJ a little bit earlier. I have not seen nor heard that talked about since then. But we shall discuss that. Derek Schultz is going to join us bottom of the hour. Across the board, we'll talk about the Pacers, the NBA. We'll talk about the Colts, where the Colts are going in the NFL right here. I think with the Colts, it'd be really easy, wouldn't it? It'd be really easy to suggest that this is – I've heard a lot of 12 and 13 win calls. You may have to pull back on that just a little bit, honestly. Now, the opportunity is there because to be able to, at least on paper, to look at the schedule that they have, it seems like that is conducive to get off to a good start. You know, last year they got off to a 5-2 start and then ended the season bad. But historically speaking, Colts teams have not gotten off to a great start. They're capable, especially considering the schedule in the first 7 weeks of the season, which you absolutely have to take advantage of. We'll talk about that. Whether or not this team is a 13-win team, a 12-win team, I would probably be floating somewhere in the neighborhood of 10. I mean, maybe feeling really good about 11. But make no mistake, there's a lot of have-to in here, even during a pandemic. You know, even if it's down to 15% attendance at Colts home games, if it's nobody, there are have-tos here. There are have-tos about, challenging to win the division. There's have-tos about making the postseason. There's a have-to about winning a postseason game because we just haven't seen it. We haven't seen that without Andrew Luck. There are some have-tos going into 2020, even with the circumstances we're all dealing with. Backyard Bourbon broadcast, number 3 for 2020. We're at the Meggies in Greenfield. Once again, a shout-out to both Andrew and Brock, Greenfield Police Department, for showing me the way, man. And, guys, come back on over, and we'll have some Ford's Garage food for you. And a big thank you, because I was not making this bad boy on time whatsoever. And both Brock and Andrew got me over here in time. 3.5, I think, minutes to spare when I got on the air. And shout out to the Greenfield Police Department for doing that, man. I really do appreciate that. All right, Cameron is the engineer. Kyle is back at the studio. The number's 239-1070. The email address is jmv@1070thefan.com. The lounge today will have a camera on an empty chair, but still feel free to participate inside the lounge. All you lounge lizards, it's YouTube Live, The Ride with JMV. Participate, questions, back and forth, whatever. The empty chair is going to be the video, but the audio is going to be for it. Maybe one of these days we'll have to think about doing the audio here. That'd be pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll come back with that, your phone calls, and Derek Schultz, friend of the show, is going to join us. A variety of things on the table we have not discussed with Derek in recent weeks. We'll hit on that and more coming up with Derek Schultz. Backyard Bourbon broadcast, number 3 in Greenfield. Shout out to Heaven Hill Distillery and Brent Holverson, Fat Tire Beer, Ryan Stoltz, our friends at Connecticut, as well as Ford's Garage, as always. Number 3, the month of August, as we're closing things out for 2020. 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg.
Rob, not now.
Whoa, Brian, you okay?
My family's schedule is so unpredictable right now, and that makes work more stressful.
I get it, Brian. When I get overwhelmed, I try to make decisions today that are safe, responsible, and well-informed. So tomorrow I'm better suited for whatever may come.
How?
Well, it's always safe to upgrade to a newer car and responsible to pay less for it. Right now, we've got great discounts on the cars you need to move your family around. Get $6,000 off any of our 2020 Escapes, 26th in stock. Get $10,000 off any of our 2020 F-150 XLTs, 47 in stock. Or choose 0% interest for 72 months on many of our great models.
And you'll be well informed by our sales team, not overwhelmed.
Feel better now, bud?
Today is better. Hey, want to grab lunch tomorrow?
Let's just stay in today, huh, Brian? Get $6,000 off any new Escape and $10,000 off any new F-150 XLT. Your key is waiting at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg.
Hey, it's JMV with my daughter, Lainey.
Hello.
Lainey, why don't you tell everybody why you're here?
Because I'm helping you announce the Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month winner.
Each month, you can enter your child's picture in Forum's Sprout of the Month contest.
It can be a school pic, a pic with them playing a sport, even a pic with your dad.
The winner receives $100 in a Sprout account, Forum Credit Union's college savings account.
It helps kids like me save money for college.
And with the recent events, it's more important now to teach your young folks how to save.
Dad, I think it's time for this month's winner.
This month's winner of Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month is Peyton Graves.
Well, Dad, another one in the books. Hey, what's the over-under for the winner next month?
You gotta stop listening to my show. Remember, go to 1075thefan.com and read about the complete details on Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month. Lainey and I will be back next month with another winner from 1075 The Fan and Forum Credit Union.
Hear ye, a new lunchtime challenger has entered the fray. Introducing Papadillas, folded crispy flatbreads filled with melty cheese, juicy meats, and tangy sauce for just $6. And behold, the newest member of the scrunchy court, the grilled buffalo chicken papadilla with grilled chicken and zesty buffalo sauce that kicks like a jousting lance to the tongue for a mere $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes extra. Prices may vary.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com. Your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
Out here for PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com. If you have noticed in your reflection that you're losing hair, let Darren Andrews give you all the procedures that can inspire the regeneration, the regrowth of your lettuce. That's simple. Get that conversation, and then learn a little bit more about PRP, multi-unit hair grafting and artist robotic FUE with PAI. Tell them I sent you. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Jay Query here at the IMS Radio Network with this fast fact brought to you by Indiana Donor Network, driven to save lives, official partner of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The youngest winner in the 103 runnings of the Indy 500 is Troy Ruttman at 22 years and 80 days. The oldest, a young Al Unser, 47 and 360 days. But did you know there's no age restriction or limitation in becoming an organ donor? In fact, Indiana recently had someone donate at the age of 103. Find out more and register at driven2savelives.org. That's driven, the number 2, savelives.org.
The Ride with JMV.
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We're in the backyard of the Meggies, and Corey Kinney says there's no way that you have GPS on your phone and you got lost. There is a plenty of way. It sent me in the wrong direction. Wrong direction. Andrew Paff, Brock Smith, Greenfield PD brought me here to the Meggies backyard, Bourbon Broadcast number 3, and the invite is out for those guys to come back over here and grab a little bit of food. Cam's on site with me with the engineering. We got Kyle back at the station, Bob Lovell coming up top of the hour, Mike Wells, bottom of the 4. Pat Sullivan's going to join us coming up here a little bit later on. I have Colts Happy Hour coming at you at 6 o'clock, 6 until 7, 93.5, 107.5, and 1070. The Fan, inside the lounge, YouTube Live. You'll see an empty chair, but the voice will be there, and your opportunities at conversation will be there, too. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, he is friend of the show, Derek Schultz. We'll go ahead and start before we get to the Colts, to the present Pacers situation. Did you think that they needed to make the move they did about 48 hours ago and decide to go out and find a different coach and cut loose Nate McMillan?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they're two separate questions. Do I think that they should have done it? Sure. Did I have any idea they were going to do it? No way. Because that's usually not how the Pacers operate, where you extend a guy, you know, whether it was a month or 2 weeks or whenever it went public. They decided to extend Nate McMillan at some point, and then basically did an about-face. And I can't really think of a time where the Pacers as an organization made a decision like that. So that's really what surprised me more than moving on from Nate. I think it was the right decision just because they looked – I don't think that Heat series was winnable, but they just looked so helpless. They were completely outclassed. There was never 1 second of any of those 7 games that mattered that they played against Miami where I thought they were the better team or that I thought they were even going to win. So just to get outclassed by a good but not great Miami team like that, I think that really signaled that it was time for a change. And we saw or heard at least that maybe there was some locker room questions about having Nate as the head coach and the offense and all of that. So I think ultimately it's the right decision. I think the problem that they have right now is that these guys that are being talked about as candidates, like Mike D'Antoni, who you mentioned months ago, John, or let's say Kenny Atkinson, who's kind of a D'Antoni disciple and an offensive guru analytics guy, you're going to have to really change up the personnel if that offensive system is going to work, because it's certainly not going to work with 2 bigs and, this team that the Pacers have right now. But, they just had a lot of problems on offense this year because they were stuck in the 90s. It's fine, I guess, if you don't want to shoot 48 threes a game or whatever the number is for Houston, but you can't be last in the league in 2020 and expect to win at a high level. And if you're going to be a 2-point offense, you darn well better get to the line, and the Pacers couldn't do that either. So this was an offense. They didn't shoot threes, and they couldn't get to the free throw line. It's really hard to win in today's NBA when you can't do either of those 2 things. And that's without me even talking about them as a rebounding team, which was a disaster at times this year, as we saw against Miami.
Yeah, I think about this. I brought this up. To me, the rebounding thing is really awful. There's no question about that. But not getting to the free throw line. There's one thing, when you talk about the new era offense everybody is playing, everybody believes that to be just high-volume 3 shooting, and that's that. But it's also about getting to the free throw line, which the Pacers do nothing of the sort. And I guess what it comes down to, if you're really interested in the philosophy of a D'Antoni or an Atkinson, as you mentioned, I mean, is it going to be worth bringing somebody like that in, considering the type of somewhat to absolute dramatic personnel changes that are going to have to be made?
Yeah, that's the question that Kevin Pritchard is going to have to ask himself, because you can't just throw D'Antoni or Atkinson in there and be like, okay, fix our offense with the pieces that they currently have. So the good news for the Pacers is that they do have movable pieces. Miles Turner is on a pretty friendly deal. I know that everybody complains about it, but he could really serve a purpose for a lot of different teams and be an attractive trade piece if you were just looking for a shot blocker or a guy that can step out. If you just want to pigeonhole Turner into that role for your team and not ask him to be your savior, I think he can be a really effective player. They're going to have to split up Sabonis and Turner. It's just enough. The 2 big thing probably was never going to work, but we have enough of a sample size to go on now to just say it's time to move on from that experiment. I think that they'll choose to move on from Turner, but really one of those guys, I would be really surprised if they're an Indiana Pacer next year, because I think you're going to have to move one of them in order to get some of the pieces in that you want. And then you have to decide what to do with Oladipo, and, are you going to pay him? Are you going to extend him this summer? Are you going to wait? Are you going to risk him coming back and looking even worse and then selling him for 40 cents on the dollar at the trade deadline? It's going to be fascinating to see what they end up doing, because I don't think there's really an easy solution here.
So Derek Schultz on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, and this is the thing, at least I think about, and people are going to say, well, you just always have been a supporter of Miles Turner. I've been a fair and balanced supporter of Miles Turner. I've not been an a-hole about it. That's the difference, I think, between some, and some would also tell you that if he's making like 25 cents, that's more than he should make. But that aside, if you're looking at the philosophies of the coaches that we've discussed so far, yeah, I'm sorry to say, Turner fits those philosophies and that criteria a lot better than Domas Sabonis does, even with Sabonis going 18.5 and 12.5 per.
You're right, but I think the question is, who is more easily movable, and I think Turner probably fits better for a lot of teams as a trade piece than Sabonis does. So that's why I think naturally the inclination is that the Pacers are going to go in that direction. But again, like I said, there is no easy solution. You know, I wish I could sit here and say, okay, the Pacers have to do A, B, C, and D, and then they're going to be fine. I don't know how you approach this. I do think that step A, move on from McMillan, was the right one, but now you've just opened yourself up to a lot of different questions. You know, and what can you get for Turner? What can you get for Oladipo if you decide to try to move him this offseason, which I think would be a mistake because I don't think you're selling him at what could be his highest value. I would rather wait and see if he can return healthy, and then if you really want to move him before the deadline next year. But again, there aren't any easy answers to these questions.
Yeah, it's weird, too, because going through all that drama and soap opera type of stuff back in July, Oladipo went from being the face of the franchise to a guy that everybody suggested, hey, you know what, if that's how you feel, then go ahead and find another spot. And, you know, everybody said, well, he's never going to be the same as he was 2 years ago anyway. And, you know, who knows, that may be the case. But I was told, Derek, that we could expect him signing some sort of extension. I don't know exactly when, but it kind of went from wanting to go someplace else, at least reports-wise, wanting to go someplace else. He wanted to go in Miami. He wants to be a part of a team that has the absolute opportunity to win right away, to people telling me that he wants to remain a Pacers player, and a lot of that is due to the coaching change that they just made. We'll see if that turns out to be true, but it's interesting enough now we kind of evaluate, Derek, whether or not he's going to be worth that type of money. The 2 years ago, Oladipo, yes, the settling for threes because you don't have it in you to take it strong to the rim any longer, I don't know if a lot of people would want that one.
Yeah, I do wonder if he, you know, kind of reality set in for him in Orlando and he had even admitted that he wasn't 100%, but when he went out there and kind of retested his body and realized, hey, I have no explosion anymore. I can't do this. So I've got to step back and settle for these three-pointers because I can't get to the rim like I'm used to be able to getting to. And I do wonder if that set in for him a little bit. You know, I still think he wants to get paid, and is he a max guy? I don't think anybody right now would say yes. He would have to come back next year and be healthy and get somewhat back to the level that we saw in his first season here in Indiana. But that doesn't surprise me that he might be willing to sign an extension. But even, John, even if we're not talking about the max, it's still a really heavy investment for a guy that's going to be, you know, 29 years old. And let's say it's a 3 or 4 year extension or something like that. I mean, you're paying him into his early 30s, which in the NBA, that's a big risk to do something like that. So I do think a lot of this stuff with Oladipo has been overblown because the fan base here is so jaded because of what they went through with Paul George, and rightfully so. The only real misstep to me wasn't really something that I got angry about. It was just something that I was really confused about. I didn't understand the timing of the leak to Shams about him not wanting to come back to the bubble. It didn't make any sense to me. Why he decided to release that, first off, through Shams and not tell the team first. I didn't get that. I didn't get why you wouldn't at least get down to Orlando and test the body out before you come to that decision, which was the plan all along, and the Pacers had given that their blessing. That was one to me that was just really, really strange.
Yeah, it was. Derek Schultz on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. And you also mentioned, you know, the finances, too. And the Pacers, they're an organization that can't handle a major misstep. I mean, really missteps in general, but certainly a major misstep. And then you factor in a pandemic. And you factor in what a lot of us think. And I don't know the finances going on now with Simon, but I mean, mall-managed properties are what they deal with, and we all know that the brick-and-mortar places aren't going very well right now, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of questioned and wondered where they were going with a new coach, because if it's a guy like D'Antoni, he's going to command high dollar, and then Adrian Wojnarowski with that leak probably even up the market for D'Antoni if and when he ends up being out there as a coaching free agent. And it's hard, I think, for a lot of Pacer fans to believe that they're actually going to go out there and pay that level of money for players, and then obviously for a head coach like that.
Yeah, and unlike a player, you know, there's no cap, right, for a coach.
Yeah, so, exactly.
You know, either you choose to spend it or you don't. So I'm with you. I've been real skeptical about the whole D'Antoni thing for a long time because I don't know that the Pacers are going to be willing to make that investment. I'm not one of those people that thinks that, you know, Simon and the Pacers brass are just happy being the 5 seed every single year. And, I don't think that way, but I do think that they are obviously operating to maximize what they can value-wise from the franchise, and they don't want to budge from and go over the tax or anything like that and really pay a pretty penny to go all in. They're not willing to push all their chips in. I think they have been aggressive, just not as aggressive as you see maybe with some other teams and in some other markets. But, D'Antoni just in general, I've been skeptical about. But I do think that they're going to go that way with an offensive-minded guy because it's just time for them to move on and do that. Because if you really look in the last – God, I don't know, at least the last couple of coaching hires, certainly with Vogel and McMillan, you've had defensive-minded guys in here. And, God bless Dan Burke, but if we're to assume that Dan Burke has kind of like this lifetime tag as defensive coordinator, I think the defense is going to be fine as long as you've got Burke there. Let's bring in an offensive mind to kind of change things up on the other side as the head coach. I was really surprised when the word leaked about McMillan not willing to shake up his coaching staff because I do wonder if maybe that was something that could have saved him in the end. But, we saw Jim Mora do that with the Colts where he wouldn't fire Vic Fangio. So yeah. I get that these guys are prideful and they don't want to throw anybody under the bus. So part of me almost kind of respects that level from Nate McMillan not doing that to potentially save himself.
Derek, speaking of aggressive, do you think we got some folks out there that are overly aggressive on the 13 and 12 win seasons that they're predicting regarding the 2020 Colts?
Yeah, I do, because there's still a lot of unproven pieces here. I'm excited about Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor hasn't played an NFL game. I'm excited about Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. hasn't played an NFL game. We kind of ran into this trap, I think, last year with Paris Campbell and, hey, Deion Kane looked really great in Westfield a couple of years ago. Yeah, sometimes things change when the actual games start and you throw them out there. And I'm also, and I've told you this, I think I've been pretty consistent. Whenever I've been on with you, Johnny, you've asked me about Phillip Rivers. As much as I liked moving on from Jacoby Brissett, I don't think Rivers is a slam dunk at all. I think there's a chance that he's washed. He wasn't very good last year, albeit against behind a porous offensive line, which he's not going to encounter here with the Colts. I also worry about their offensive line because they have no depth, and they were completely and perfectly healthy last year, and that really it's not sustainable. You can't plan on having all of those guys for 16 games next year again. You're starting 5 on the offensive line. So I am worried if an injury would pop up on the OL, I think it could be a little bit of a house of cards there. But I don't think there's any reason why this team can't win the AFC South and be a playoff team. But I still put them behind both the Chiefs and Ravens in the AFC, even with how they stack up on paper, because at least we've seen it from Baltimore and Kansas City. We have yet to see it from this personnel group with the Colts.
It's Derek Schultz with us. Before I let you go, down to 15% now of what is normal capacity for the start of Colts games. Couple of things. I'm assuming there's some sort of worth there, but I think once you get kind of in the teens, it makes you wonder why you're having a percentage whatsoever. And then even more so than that, it makes you wonder about the NFL, who's constantly preaching, a competitive balance, allowing some to have some folks there, others to not. It's all pretty weird.
Yeah, the league should really do their teams a service and make a blanket rule, because you've got the California teams not letting anybody in, and then, they're just kind of letting all these teams, and based on their state conditions and whatever else to make the call here. I was surprised 15% because, you still have to pay security and the parking people, and I'm assuming they're going to open up the concessions. So you have a lot of costs just to open up the doors. Is it really worth it to have whatever the number is? I wasn't a math major at IU. What is it, 12,000 or whatever it's going to be of a 70,000-seat stadium to be in there? I think ultimately we're not going to see fans, especially when you consider that it's indoor venues in a lot of these cases. I know the Colts have a retractable roof, but, let's face it, that's an indoor venue. They open it up, I think, once every solar eclipse. So I think that ultimately we're going to see no fans, but I actually feel bad for the Colts, and I know the Jaguars have made announcements about their fan capacity. I feel bad for these teams because it's not their fault for trying to maximize or trying to figure out a plan for what they could do. I really feel like the NFL should step in and make that call for everybody.
Derek Schultz with us. How are things going for you?
Good, man. Good. I'm not getting police escorts anywhere like big-time VIP celebrities. But
well, it's because you're a lot smarter than I am. I'm an idiot. Oh my God! I thought for a moment they go, this guy's crazy, and I said, I'm not crazy. I'm just dumb. That's just it. And my phone was leading me in the wrong direction. Derek, I was hosed, man. I've never ever been late for a show. Since I've hosted my own show for 16 years, I've never been late to one. And I thought this was going to be a first. I thought, but between I-70 getting here, and I left an hour and a half from my place before, but between I-70 getting here and then my being lost, these guys saved my rear end, buddy. They did.
Dude, I'm right with you. When I came out here, I grew up back in Connecticut, where all the roads are all windy and there's no grid. There's no like north, south, east, west. So when I first came out here and people were like, yeah, you just, head east on 45, 46 over there. I'm like, look, man, unless the sun is rising or setting, I have no freaking clue which direction east is. Do I go right? Do I go left? Like, that's how I dealt with directions. So I am completely and totally a space cadet. Thank God for phones and GPS, because I never made, 20 years ago when I first got my driving license, it was just a total disaster trying to find my way around.
I flagged these guys down, man. They brought me over here. I was hosed, absolutely hosed. I got lost after the Belle Biv DeVoe concert. Mike Wells and I went, and we went separate ways. And I guess I ended up driving north. I thought I was in Noblesville, and then it was Alexandria. And I'm a mess, I guess. I'm always good directionally. It just, I wonder if at 50 I'm getting a bit senile or something here. It's kind of scary a little bit.
You'll like this because it involves both your alma mater and your buddy Query. We went and did a live broadcast from the ISU Butler game. You remember when they played at Holman Center a couple of years ago?
I do, yes.
Team, and they lost, and ISU fans ran on the court and everything. Of course, we left at halftime because Jake wanted to go. I wanted to stay, but he was my ride. So 70 is shut down. We get, I don't know, about 20 miles in, and 70 shut down. And I'm like, I have no idea that geographically, that area of the state I'm completely unfamiliar with. And Jake's like, oh, I got family in Cloverdale, so I know my way around. I know all these back roads. Dude, we were out there for like 3 hours. It's pitch black. You know how he drives. I mean, he's going like 90 miles an hour in this Jeep Grand Cherokee on 2 wheels. I feared for my life. Eventually, we did end up in downtown Cloverdale, and we were able to navigate our way back. But I was just like, Jake, I thought you knew everything that there was to know about Indiana and the road system and everything like that. I was really let down.
Great to hear from you, man. It really is. And whenever you want to come back on, welcome. Matt's always out. It really is. The best to you and the family and the kids and the parents and the grandparents. And thanks for coming on as always, man.
Same to you, my man. Enjoy the backyard barbecue there.
I will. We're going to get the police over here in just a little bit. It's the first time we've ever had the police here. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. For the right reasons. Derek Schultz with us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3. We're at the Meggies in Greenfield. Shout out to Brent Holverson, Heaven Hill Distillery, Ryan Stoltz, New Belgium Brewery, and Fat Tire, our friends at Connecticut Water, and as well as Ford's Garage. Ford's Garage is now setting up. We'll talk with them. The home of the JMV burger, Ford's Garage. Quick break. We'll come back. Week 2 of the high school football season is tonight. Bob Lovell is set to join us coming up at the top of the hour. I got a little time for you at 239-1070. We'll talk at you next.
School's back, and you can win $100 in a Sprout account from Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest. Details at 1075thefan.com.
In these uncertain times, many people are concerned about their health, and that can trigger anxiety and stress.
We know many smokers want to quit. That's why we're offering free nicotine replacement products to help. You can get 2 weeks of patches, gum, or lozenges free while supplies last.
Hey, we understand. In times like this, people are ready to quit. And Quit Now Indiana has a better way. Say goodbye to smoking. And quit on your terms, at your pace.
Quit Now Indiana will help you break your tobacco addiction.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can quit your way with the tools and support you need.
No lectures.
No pressure.
Just free help.
Life is too short.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW today.
This is Tim Wicker with Electric Plus, an electrical contractor powering Indiana with offices in Avon, Bloomington, Lafayette, and Kokomo. We lead the race in new construction, modernizations, and service repair. Our teams excel at industrial, commercial, healthcare, and 24/7 emergency coverage. Just like race car drivers desire to be the best, the mission of Electric Plus is to be the best electrical contractor, period. Our highly skilled professionals are ready to take the track when you call. For more information, please visit electricplus.com and let's go racing.
Major League Baseball is here. PointsBet is ready to go yard with $10 for every homer hit. Why? Well, they figured home runs are pretty cool, but why not make them epic? So now when a ball goes yard, $10 in free bets goes in your pocket. Ball breaks a windshield in the parking lot? You guessed it, $10 in free bets goes in your account. The more balls sent deep, that's right, the more free bets you get. So batter up and get ready to let it fly. $10 in free bets every home run your team hits. Download the PointsBet app today. Use promo code Indiana. PointsBet. Stay sharp. PointsBet is a proud partner with the Hollywood Casino, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Must be present in Indiana. Must be 21 plus. Additional terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Marshall Mechanical. Owner Eric Marshall loves American Standard's quality.
I think it's a great product, but the thing I like best is the relationship support we have. It's the same as the support we give our customers. I feel like I get that from the manufacturer. They have a solid team of amazing individuals that help us with everything throughout the business.
Down in the Franklin area, call Eric Marshall at 317-738-5940 or go to callthemarshallnow.com. Marshall Mechanical is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your teenager to help around the house?
Okay, Mom, I emptied the dishwasher, vacuumed the basement, and folded the sheets out of the dryer.
Wait, what?
Oh, and next, I'm going to clean Mitten's litter box.
Are we in some kind of prank show or something? That's a camera, isn't it?
There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
If you've got an insurance question, you could talk to a dentist. But instead of filling you in on ways to save on your policies, he'd probably be too busy filling in that loose crown. Or you could talk to your local Geico agent, who will use their expertise to polish up your policies, from home and auto to renters, motorcycle, boat, and RV too. So while, yes, your dentist can save your smile, your Geico agent could save you money, which will make you use that smile a whole lot more. To find a Geico agent near you, visit geico.com/local.
Hey, the NBA postseason is set to fire back up. FanDuel Sportsbook has a great offer for you that you won't want to miss, plus 2,000 odds. With any team that you pick to make the NBA Finals, that's $10 down and your chance to win $200 if that team makes it. And you can select any of the favorites, too. It is so easy and so fun. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Get started by using my promo code JMV. That is the big deal right there. My promo code is JMV. FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. 21 plus, present in Indiana. New users only must wager on designated Boost Market. Max bonus $200. See full terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Only at Big O Tires, buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires now through September 20th. Big Labor Day savings only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The Colts take on the Chiefs in the 2003 playoffs. Sunday at noon. On 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Look at all those ding-dongs.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back to Maggie's Backyard. I'm sorry, the Gavins were coming over to talk to me, and I started talking on the mic, and they left. Backyard Bourbon Broadcast number 3, Heaven Hill Distillery, Brent Halverson, Ryan Stoltz, Fat Tire Beer, New Belgium Brewing, Joe, John, and Dennis from Connecticut Water, and Richard and Ford's Garage. Try the dip, too. The buffalo chicken dip is incredible. If I were playing a home game, I would eat some right now, but I'm on the road here, so that probably wouldn't be good. And clearly I'm awful with directions, but it is awesome. It is. Thank you, Richard, for all the food that you brought. The home of the JMV Burger, Ford's Garage in Noblesville. Jonah is at 239-1070 up next. Hello, Jonah.
JMV, how are you?
I'm great. It is about 80 degrees here right now. What are we talking about in the Valley of the Sun today?
We're still in the 110s. I think it's maybe like 107 now. It's
107. That's cooling off.
No, it's 109. It's 109.
109.
Yeah, it's cooling off a little bit.
No, 109.
There's nothing like a backyard barbecue in the Midwest. I'm jealous.
Man, you should be here. My police guys just showed up, too. That is awesome. They're going to get some food from me because I am so inept, and they got me here. But Andrew and Brock are here. Go ahead, Jonah.
Oh, and by the way, see, in Arizona, if you have a barbecue, all you need is a couple rocks, and then you can cook your food on it.
Yeah, see, exactly. You don't even need to fire up charcoal or anything, do you?
No, not really. Just as long as you have the hot sun, there you go.
Exactly. What you got, buddy?
So I want to talk about the Pacers.
Yep.
Great interview with Derek Schultz, by the way. I pretty much agree with everything he said, and he actually touched on a couple points that I agree with completely. First of all, I'm not big on the D'Antoni train. First of all, you bring him in, and he's all about threes or layups, which is fine because I think the Pacers need to shoot more threes because I even heard Mark Boyle say that the Pacers make a good percentage of them, but they just don't take a lot. So I think that's something that I want an offensive-minded coach because and with that said, whatever coach we bring in, I hope to God Dan Brooks, they don't get rid of Dan Burke because you could just see like players like Warren and Bogdanovich just increase their defense by Burke. But at the same time, like if you do bring in an analytics guy, guys like T.J. Warren, Brogdon, Jeremy Lamb, those guys live at the mid-range, and I understand the mid-range is a lost art, but that's
you're
where
right.
they thrive from.
You're absolutely right. That's why we talk about there being you would have to think somebody like that would require a dramatic personnel change, Jonah.
And the other thing is, too, like, I'm with you. I think Miles needs to improve his game, but if I remember right, the last, 10 games of the season before it was halted in March, Sabonis and Turner were actually finally starting to pair up well, and I finally think that Turner was actually starting to get it, know his role in the offense. And I want to see him with a different coach before they if they trade him or do what, because I think he was misused by Nate. They tried to make him into a stretch four, and with the lack of rebounding the Pacers had, I want to see him, because he's the most athletic player on the team. And I want to see that maximized if a new coach brings it out in them, but who knows?
Hey,
but
Jonah,
it's going to be an interesting offseason.
Thanks for the call. You going to call tomorrow night, too, on the JMV Takeover?
Oh, yeah. You know it.
Oh, buddy. I appreciate
it,
man.
If anything that's hotter than the desert, it's the JMV Takeover.
It is. Tomorrow night, too, we got the Restock Your Bar giveaway, too. Jonah, have a great night in Phoenix, and give us a call tomorrow, buddy. Thanks.
All right. Sounds good.
JMV Takeovers tomorrow night on B105.7. We're going to restock your bar. Somebody's going to win that with a picture or a video to hashtag JMV Takeover, courtesy of Heaven Hill Distillery. Restocking your bar tomorrow night. It is the all-request, all-80s Saturday night JMV Takeover tomorrow night on B105.7. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3 for 2020 at the Maggie's in Greenfield. Week 2 of the high school football season. Bob Lovell gets us updated on that and more. He joins us to kick off the 4 o'clock hour. Next.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Listen mornings to Jeff and Big Joe from 7 to 10 a.m. and call in to the pop quiz for your chance at a Jiffy Lube prize pack. The Fan's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you like and follow the Fan for all updates, giveaways, and all things sports. The Colts season's coming on fast. Kevin Bowen's got you covered. Kevin hosts a live virtual Beers with Bowen on the Fan's YouTube page, breaking down the Colts' upcoming season. For more information, just click on 1075thefan.com.
John for PAI We Grow Hair, Indy.com. If you're losing your hair, maybe receding hairline, just hair thinning, and you don't want that to happen, you want some options in your hair growing game. They're out there. They weren't 25, 30 years ago, but they are now, and it's real growing hair again with PAI. They regenerate and regrow due to PRP, that's platelet-rich plasma. You don't want me to explain this to you. Let Darren Andrews tell you all about it. PAI, private consultation today. WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com, your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
BetMGM Sports invites you to join in on the summer fun with a risk-free bet. New customers making their first sports wager with bonus code WFNI500 will get up to $500 in free bets if the wager loses. All you have to do is sign up, make your first wager to take advantage of this offer. An August packed with basketball, baseball, hockey. It just happens once in a lifetime, so don't miss this chance to get a piece of the action at BetMGM with live betting, boosted odds specials, and much more. Believe in your game with the same folks that bring you the most iconic casino hotels in the world. Download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code WFNI500 to get back up to $500 in free bets on your first wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older and physically located in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Denny Smith here. My friends at Sundown Gardens are gearing up for a fantastic fall. All shrubs are 20% off now through August 30th. See all the hydrangeas, roses, ornamental grasses, and foundation plants like boxwood and yews. Mums and fall annuals have started to arrive. The gift shop is full of beautiful autumn-themed decor. There's even a fun Halloween section for indoor and outdoor decorating. Save the date for the fall open house, September 19th. Sundown Gardens at 186 and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Want to save 20 to 50% on your diamond for your loved one? Come see Pierce Jewelers before you spend your hard-earned money. See them at piercejewelers.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis. Braves, Phillies, Sunday night baseball. The coverage begins at 6 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Bullish friends hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Shout out to Clayton Anderson right there. I was in Bedford a little bit earlier. This is a true story here, Kyle. So I haven't had a soft drink, right? You know, a soft drink like a Coke or a Pepsi or whatever in 3 years. I haven't had one in 3 years. And people said, well, it's really going to help you and losing weight and getting in. It hadn't helped me 1 ounce. And I used to drink I was a Diet Dr. Pepper. I mean, I drank 6 a day maybe, right? So today I had to go down to Bedford for my mom's to get her a couple of things, and I go in that Bedford Walmart, and there is seriously a big red display on every aisle in there. Like if you want to go buy some underwear, there's a big red display in the underwear aisle. It's everywhere. It's like the top earning market for Big Red is Bedford, Indiana. And honestly, I almost bought one today. I almost broke the streak and drank a Big Red today because I used to drink them all the time, and I think it led me to have kidney stones, which was unfortunate at the age of 15. But I loved it back in the day, and I haven't had one since then. Should I break the streak on a Big Red? Kyle, what say you?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, you haven't broken your streak with going to a movie theater. Don't break your streak with soda, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. September 21st, 1999 is the last time I was at a movie theater.
I think the next time you go to a movie theater, you have to get a soda. That's the way you should do it. Just break them both at once.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, I want to try this Big Red and see what's up, but I didn't do it. It's Kyle Udemark back at the station. Cam's with me. We're in the Maggie's backyard in Greenfield. Again, a shout out to Andrew and to Brock for they're back here and enjoying some food from Ford's Garage on me and on us because they got me here. I was completely lost a little bit earlier, and they escorted me over here, and I appreciate that very much. Thanks to my guys here, the Greenfield Police Department. Your calls coming up on the other side. I got Daytona Ken's on hold, Bill's on hold. You guys sit tight for us. on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We've got week number 2 of the high school football season getting underway later on tonight. Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. He does join us. Hello, Bob.
Hey, John, I'm just wondering how you even get a job. You can't find out where you're supposed to go. You haven't been to a movie since 1999, and thank goodness you're not drinking any soft drinks. What is wrong with you, Griffin?
Here's what's funny, but I left Bargersville an hour and a half. I mean, I gave myself an hour and a half to get here, and then I ended up stopped on I-70. And then I just got my for whatever reason, my phone pointed me in the wrong direction, and Brock and Andrew brought me over here. It was funny, though. Everybody here saw me pull up and saw Brock and Andrew pulling up in front and behind me in the police cars. It was a hell of an entrance, I will tell you that.
Frankly, that's how you should travel anyway every day. You need to have a police escort.
Is no doubt about that. Hey, all in all, how do you think week 1 of the high school football season went, considering all that is being, well, in this case, considered to go into each and every venue, each and every game, so on and so forth?
I talked with the commissioner, Paul Neidig. I do a weekly interview with him for the IHSA Champions Network. He and his colleagues, I think, expressing how people around the state felt. They felt like it went very well. There were a handful of games, maybe under a dozen games that didn't get played. Some were canceled literally hours before the games were supposed to start. And I think all in all, they were pleased. There have been, some postponements because of some positive tests. And I think the flexibility of the coaches and the athletic directors around the state's kind of amazing, because you'll find out that you might have had a game postponed last week and you were worried about finding an opponent for next week, and people have been able to change some things around. You see some interesting games, some games you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So I think they're very encouraged by how the first week went. Again, this is week 2. People need to continue to wear a mask if they're out in public, social distance, and follow the protocols. And so, again, we'll just see how this continues. But they're off, I think, to a reasonably good start.
All right, what's the expectation later on tonight? I haven't seen. Are there any cancellations as far as tonight would be concerned that you've heard of?
I'm not aware of any that haven't already been announced, but I think, again, I think you can expect the majority of the games that are scheduled as they are to go off, and hopefully we've got weather that's come through. I think weather might not be an issue, so we're hopeful that we'll have a nice night.
So Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talks on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, and we were talking about this last Saturday too. I'll be honest with you, it felt good to get back into the swing of things, and I know that it's not like it normally is. It's still really weird, but just to be able to talk about it, these games actually happening, and not feeling compelled to have to pull the plug on so many things right now. Those are some feel-good storylines, I think, just beyond the matchups going into week 2, Bob.
You could see, in the conversations I had with people on the air last Friday, you could just tell a great sense of relief, I think, from a number of the coaches involved. That, their kids were excited. Their kids had done everything they'd been asked to do to put themselves in the position to be able to play. And, again, you look at it from the standpoint of parents and kids who didn't get a chance to finish their careers last spring, and, that's hanging over everyone right now. I think the other part of it, too, is last week, this first week, if you hosted a game, most of the schools were turning to a senior night on that first game, not knowing how things would progress. And so I think you had a couple of reasons to be emotional about how the first week was played.
So Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk, joins us now. All right, give me some matchups, strong matchups that you're looking for and you'll be talking to later on tonight.
Warren Central, Center Grove, interested at all? You think that's a strong matchup?
I'm very interested by that, Bob. Yes, and obviously, you had to work a little bit to get there, huh?
Have to work to get there. Carmel hosting Cathedral, a great matchup. North Central and Hamilton Southeastern. Ben Davis and Avon. the always wonderful battle down in Columbus. North is hosting East. New Pal is at Brebeuf tonight. So, you look around, those are some pretty solid games to get things started. I think big battle, too. Ritter and Lutheran, really good matchup. So, week 2, you're still trying to put some things together. But if I were looking at games, those are some I'd start with, frankly.
You'll be talking about that coming up later on tonight, too. And, we've seen, reports of the Big Ten trying to refire. Obviously, the SEC is still out there with plans on playing. So is the ACC. So is the Big 12. It's an endless saga, is it not, for college football right now?
Well, it's an endless saga because of the incredible amounts of money that are in play. You're seeing IU's athletic department making some announcements today about reduction in staff and how they're going to furlough some of their folks, and they've already had across the board reductions. And so, you're looking at multi-million-dollar budgets. It took a hit last year with the basketball tournament being canceled and not receiving some money there. And so, they're trying to find ways. They're desperate to find ways to get this season in. You read about the different start dates for the Big Ten, whether they're going to try and do something after Thanksgiving, or they're going to wait until January, middle of January. You have players trying to file suit against the Big Ten. So you have a lot of moving parts in this that I'm not sure are going to get resolved anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't either. We knew it was going to be different, but this is just some odd stuff. I will tell you this, and obviously the money is what is moving to want to play, and the eyeballs that will be watching. But I would be pissed if I were a player and I had only a short amount of time, especially if I'd be a senior, and I had that talent enough where I knew I wasn't going to the NFL, but I'm, participating on that level to play college football. I would be pretty pissed off myself about this whole thing. I would.
I would too, and if you start the season in January, now you look at how that impacts everybody that ran for the NFL draft, and things obviously have to get moved around, and there's so much going on. And then if you're a coach and you have some underclassmen, you're going to try to squeeze in 2 seasons in a short amount of time, and so there are no good answers. And unfortunately, there have been no good answers throughout this entire pandemic. I think people were trying to buy some time. The classic kick the can down the road. Let's buy a little bit of time and see if things happen, and they haven't. And so it is an explosive. It's an emotional issue. Everyone has an opinion about it. Call me crazy. I tend to err on the side of the people who've gone to college and make this their lives work. I tend to pay attention to experts more than anything else. And if this is what experts say you need to do, I think you have to follow their advice.
I mean, you get what you just talked about, and then you get a mix of folks that are just so normalcy starved, and that's what you get. You know what I mean? That's just what you get.
Oh, I understand. I understand it completely. I understand everybody's emotionally invested in it. And, if I were a parent of a senior athlete, whether they're a cross-country runner or a golfer or what, I'd be a nervous wreck right now. You want that last year to go well. Everybody wants that for their kid. No one's denying that. And so you have to balance that with the public safety issue. But you have to do what's in the best interest of the general public. And these things collide when you're in a situation like this. So I understand everybody's feeling it.
Yeah. So Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk. He's coming at you later on tonight, 9:30. And am I closing down things with you tomorrow night?
Are you kidding? You're asking me that? you have to ask me? Oh, my goodness. Yes. Thank goodness you are. Yes, in fact, you are. We're coming to you to wrap up what we hope will be a great weekend.
Yeah, me too. Right there with you. Hey, Bob, it's always a pleasure. We'll be listening coming up later on tonight, Indiana Sports Talk, and then tomorrow night I'll join Bob somewhere around 11:30 or so, and we'll wrap things up for Saturday night and see where we are. But as always, thank you, Bob.
Thank you, John. Have a great weekend.
Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3. We're at the Maggie's house. We're in Greenfield, Indiana right now, and Ford's Garage is here with the food. I'm going to chat with Richard coming up in a bit if I see where Richard is, and we'll bring him over here and chat up the JMV burger and the food that they have at Ford's Garage in Noblesville. Again, if you're on your way, for example, I know a lot of you, especially in youth sports, because I've got a daughter in youth sports, and a shout-out to her youth sports team with Andy Webster and the gang going up to the Pacers facility in Westfield to play in just a little bit. I'm going to cross my fingers they're going to get up there anywhere near on time, being it's a Friday rush hour. But with youth sports in mind, because so many things have at least had the plug pulled on them, to a later date, we're kind of sitting around and waiting what may or may not happen, and places like Finch Creek and the Pacers complex up in Westfield, and Finch Creek and Noblesville, which is near Ford's Garage, are operating per usual with a higher volume, I think, of kids than ever right now, just because a lot of schools aren't doing too much, if anything, with the younger kids right now. So if you're going up to Finch Creek and you want to slide into Ford's Garage, do so. Tell them I sent you, and then slam that JMV burger and see what you think, which is absolutely outstanding. It's Ford's Garage, and all up in that area there, Finch Creek and more. I think Jimi Hendrix, if he finds his way over here from Live Nation, is going to drop in a little bit. We're going to talk about some stuff that Live Nation is doing as well. Derek Schultz joined us a little bit earlier. We had conversations about the Colts and whether or not thinking 12 wins, 13 wins is just way, way over the bar going into 2020. And, of course, the dismissal of Nate McMillan and the direction of this Pacers team right now. I need to put out a Connecticut Water question of the day, whether or not you think that D'Antoni should be the next head coach. Kyle, what do you think? You think people will be on board with that? I mean, a 69, 70-year-old coach, new team here, guy that's been around the block a couple of different times, described as a retread. What do you think people will say? D'Antoni, yes. D'Antoni, no, for the most part here as the next Pacers head coach.
I think a majority would say yes, and he's definitely the fans, I think, leader in the clubhouse, because we haven't seen a lot of great names as an alternate. I mean, you've heard Kenny Atkinson, D'Antoni Light, but other than that, I mean, who have you really heard out there that the Pacers could look into?
Those are the only two. I mean, people have lobbed around Mark Jackson, and I don't think that's viable. College guys, I mean, you're going to start that low. I can't see with the type of team makeup they have right now going with somebody like that either. So, I don't know. I'll put D'Antoni up there with the Connecticut Water question of the day, and we'll see what you guys think. Meantime, 239-1070. Hey, Bill is up next today. Welcome to the show, Bill. How are you?
Hey, JMV, how you doing today?
Great, thank you.
Man, I think the Pacers need to take a look at a couple of San Antonio Spurs assistant coaches.
Yeah.
One being Tim Duncan. It would be totally consistent with the Pacers to hire an ex-player. He comes from a great organization, and I think he could work with both Turner and Sabonis. And the other one is a real long shot. I think they should probably interview her. But what about this Becky Hammond, this gal that sits right next to Popovich on the San Antonio bench? I mean, she's been a head coach before in like the men's summer leagues and the Las Vegas leagues. But how do you think a female coach would, number one, be received in this market, and number two, what do you think the chances of success would be?
I don't know too much about her other than what you just explained. I would hope to think that if she was qualified and that was their choice, that I think everybody around here would be on board. I'm not going to question that. Now, I'm sure there'll be some, as you mentioned, that may not be, but I would like to think that everybody around here, just kind of looking at, the qualifications, if they were there and that's the hire the Pacers want to make, that would make sense. Regarding Duncan, I always thought that Duncan was kind of hanging around maybe there a little bit to, if he really is serious about becoming a head coach, maybe wait out Popovich and, the Popovich story about Brooklyn. I don't think that will happen. I'd be shocked if that were to happen, but certainly that's a storyline out there. I don't know if Duncan is waiting it out, if he really wants to be in that seat just yet or what. But the Spurs, organizationally, with a great deal of success within, certainly, be two good views there. I don't happen to know Becky Hammond's offensive philosophy, nor do I know that of Tim Duncan either. I mean, I guess we just know the philosophies of both Atkinson and D'Antoni because it is what people say, Bill, is of today. It's high-volume threes, and then Atkinson works deeply into analytics, and, there's no mid-range shots or you get taken out, things like that. Those are the philosophies I know. I don't really know the offensive philosophies of either one of the Spurs assistants.
Well, I did a little bit of research into Becky Hammond, and she played in the WNBA for the San Antonio Stars, I believe was her name, and was a point guard. She was a shooter. So I mean, she is her offensive philosophy.
Well, she's going to get one, Bill. She's going to get a job one of these days. I mean, I don't know, if that time is now with the 5 vacancies they have. But I would say sooner rather than later, somebody's going to make that groundbreaking hire without question.
It'd be something.
Bill, anything else?
Hey, that's it, man. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. That's Bill. Let's go to Daytona Ken before the break at 239-1070. Hello, Ken.
Hey, man. How you doing? Hey, Ford's Garage has terrific food.
Yeah, they do have terrific food, and we got people here in the backyard taking full advantage of that terrific food right now.
A couple of friends took me up there. I'm blind. They played a little trick on me on what I was eating, but it was good.
Wait a minute.
Hey, listen, since I found out yesterday that you're interested in the Pacer coaching position, I've been hard at work. I talked to Mark Patrick about being your assistant, I thought we pretty well had it done, except for one problem. He said he'd be your assistant and he'd work for free, but he has to have the big chair.
There's no doubt he would have to have it. He's earned it, too.
I said, I'm a JMV guy through and through. Your big chair days are over, dude.
Yeah.
You'd have to slide over. And I told him, you got to be a Pacer coach because if they don't get something for Vic, you got to show him how to put that 3 up. He's embarrassing shooting threes.
It's funny about Mark. Ken, I'm glad you brought Mark up, too. He is living his greatest life right now. He's got grandkids. He lives up in just the incredibly scenic mountains, the Appalachian Mountains there where North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia kind of converge all right in that area. I think he lives in North Carolina, around Murphy, North Carolina, somewhere. I mean, he's got it all working. He's kind of like the Bob Vila of former Indianapolis personalities. He's incredible.
He's a quality individual. So's Tim Duncan. Your previous caller mentioned him. His character and reputation is beyond reproach. Whether he's ready or not, I don't know.
Yep. Hey, Daytona Ken, call me tomorrow night, okay?
What's the theme for tomorrow night?
It's we're going back to the 80s tomorrow night, and I've been listening. I got a couple of songs. I believe tomorrow night I'm going to be playing L.A. Guns and Sex Action. Anybody want to hear that that's a big hairband fan?
Yeah. Hey, I had an idea for a future show.
Okay, go ahead.
I've heard every one since the one you did in the morning, and I've heard the drive over 300 times in a row. So I'm waiting for my perfect attendance card.
You're awesome,
anyway,
man.
I'm going to tell you what. For the future, how about lady singers of the 80s that pose nude? What do you think?
Lady singers of the 80s that pose nude. So that would be Madonna. That would be Samantha Fox. That would be... I have to think of some more there. Those are two good ones off the top of my head.
You're pretty strong just coming up with that off the top,
Let me tell you what, Daytona Ken, if we're talking about nudity, I'm on top of it here. I know all about nudity. I'm good at it.
I had kind of an idea you'd like that idea. So.
Ken, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
JMV Takeovers tomorrow night on B. I know my nudity. Is there anybody? I'm trying to think anybody else from the 80s. I don't think Susanna Hoffs ever got naked for anything. Lita Ford called into a show once with me, and we talked. She and her husband, her and family, they had kids. They were living on a Caribbean island, and they didn't wear clothes. They just ran around nude all the time. Terry Nunn, Yeah, Terry Nunn's been nude. Terry Nunn of Berlin, that's another one. So she's been nude. So, yeah, I'm on top of it. Seriously. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3. We're in Greenfield. Again, a shout-out to my friends, both Andrew and Brock, for getting me here, from the Greenfield Police Department, getting me here on time. And we're having a blast here. We're at the Meggy's house. Zach, Meggy, and friends. The Gavins are here, which makes it really good. Brent Holvers has got the Heaven Hill Distillery beverages. And we got Ryan Stoltz, New Belgium Brewery, Connecticut Water. I'm going to give you a great opportunity on a great deal, courtesy of Joe, John, and Dennis of Connecticut, coming up in just a bit, too. Ford's Garage. Richard from Ford's Garage has brought the food, and it is outstanding. We'll take a quick break. Mike Wells of ESPN.com. I think he is in suburban Chicago as a part of the BMW covering that. We'll get the mic coming up on the other side. 5 o'clock hour, Pat Sullivan's going to be here. Colts Happy Hours in the 6 o'clock hour. This is 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
This is the Colts Preview on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Live from the Power Home Solar Radio Studio. Here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Colts Preview, presented by First Financial Bank. First Financial Bank has all the convenient banking technology you need, with a team of people who care about investing locally, helping their neighbors, and making decisions based on more than just numbers. First Financial Bank, member FDIC. Colts are back on the practice field today after the team decided to not practice on Thursday and instead discussed and worked towards making a lasting social impact inside the Indianapolis community. The Colts held a team meeting to discuss an action plan to help end social injustice and evoke change in American society. And after practice today, a few members of the Colts organization addressed the media, including Jacoby Brissett.
On behalf of the players, teams, coaches, the staff, the organization, we're here to say we're hurt. We're hurt because we feel the pain of not only our black teammates, but our black community. We understand that we have to use our platform not only individually, but collectively as an organization. We wanted to be known that yesterday wasn't a day off. It wasn't a day for us to just say, to go home and say we didn't practice. For us, yesterday was a full work day. Obviously, it got out regarding our efforts to get everyone here registered to vote, in which we had 100% participation. But we used it as a day to reflect on those Zoom calls we had this offseason, to reflect on the emotions we endured and those conversations that we all pledged to help not only uplift our teammates, but our community. We understand that our job awards us with a platform to pour into our resources, our relationships, to not only make change on the surface level, to use the relationship and the communication that we have with others that can help change and deep-rooted change. As an organization, leadership, we plan to take full advantage of those resources. We also used yesterday to strategically plan and map out how this Colts 2020 year team will impact our community. Within this map, they aren't wants, needs, and requests. There are demands and commands that we plan to stand by.
That's Colts quarterback Jacoby Brissett, and he's been a leader on and off the field for the Colts since joining the team in 2017, and he's been one of the many spearheading the social injustice talks inside the Colts locker room. The Colts will practice once again tomorrow at Lucas Oil Stadium and then have an off day coming up on Sunday. And that's it for the Colts Preview today, presented by First Financial Bank on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. At First Financial Bank, we care about investing locally, helping our neighbors, and making banking simple. Whether you're depositing a check, buying a home, or talking through a plan to grow your business, we're here to help. Your local First Financial team offers personalized service and makes decisions based on more than just numbers. That's First. Connect with us or learn more at bankatfirst.com. First Financial Bank. All loans subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal opportunity lender.
Here's what's happening with the Fan.
Listen mornings to Jeff and Big Joe from 7 to 10 a.m. and call in to the pop quiz for your chance at a Jiffy Lube prize pack. The Fan's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you like and follow the Fan for all updates, giveaways, and all things sports. The Colts season's coming on fast. Kevin Bowen's got you covered. Kevin hosts a live virtual Beers with Bowen on the Fan's YouTube page, breaking down the Colts' upcoming season. For more information, just click on 1075thefan.com.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com. Your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
In these uncertain times, many people are concerned about their health, and that can trigger anxiety and stress.
We know many smokers want to quit. That's why we're offering free nicotine replacement products to help. You can get 2 weeks of patches, gum, or lozenges free while supplies last.
Hey, we understand. In times like this, people are ready to quit. And Quit Now Indiana has a better way. Say goodbye to smoking. And quit on your terms, at your pace.
Quit Now Indiana will help you break your tobacco addiction.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can quit your way with the tools and support you need.
No lectures.
No pressure.
Just free help.
Life is too short.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW today.
Hey, John here for Love Heating and Air Conditioning. That's Love Heating and Air Conditioning, love-hvac.com. Here's what I'm talking about. It's called the iWave. There's one thing that I have learned is that, obviously, for the summertime and your cooling system, they're there for you, following CDC recommended guidelines, right? But the other thing I've learned from John and Chris is it is necessary to have really good breathing air in your home, and that's where iWave comes in. They have decided to connect with iWave, and that's the best air purification, folks, anywhere. And right now, just tell John and Chris that you heard it with me, and they'll give you $125 off their iWave air purification system at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. That's $125 off just by telling them you heard it from me. That's Love Heating and Air Conditioning. And again, following CDC recommended guidelines to make sure that you are safe and healthy with all that is going on out there. Online, find out more information right now, love-hvac.com.
Hello, this is Rob Evans. At INHP, we believe everyone in Indianapolis deserves to live in a safe, decent, and affordable home in a vibrant neighborhood. That's why INHP provides homeownership education classes, affordable fixed-rate home loans, and down payment assistance for low to moderate income households. INHP clients gain knowledge and purchasing power, enabling them to afford the home of their choice in a neighborhood that's right for them. Learn more about the choices available to you at INHP.org. That's INHP.org.
At Unibet Sportsbook, we know that within every bettor, there's a bet so genius, no other person on this planet could have thought of it. It's called a parlay, a custom-made bet that says, today, my confidence level is on the money. Sign up today and get $30 free to use on your first parlay and enjoy daily parlay boosts at Unibet Sportsbook. Download the app or visit in.unibet.com. Unibet Sportsbook, crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Indiana. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Only at Big O Tires, buy 3 get 1 free on select sets of tires now through September 20th. Big Labor Day savings only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The Ride with JMV.
There's a kid in my class that got a boner at PE in high school. He was wearing sweatpants. It was really embarrassing, so this song goes out to him.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Mike Wells on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bet Rivers Sportsbook.
All right, I don't know if Mike Wells is on the course up in suburban Chicago at the BMWs right now. If he is, better tune that voice, Mike. Give it to us. Go ahead.
Trying to make love to me. Oh, we gotta let this run, Jay. Oh my goodness.
Let it go. Hey, let her go.
Oh, you. Oh, here we go. I wanna sex you up. Hey, I'm just looking for the temple on the booty, Jay.
Hey, isn't it true that Color Me Bad, they broke in with this song on the New Jack City soundtrack, right?
Exactly, and it's coming up on almost 30 years since New Jack City came out, man. They all came out together. New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, they were all within years of each other, man, almost 30 years ago.
If you were going to watch New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, Goodfellas, or Casino, which one would it be?
Listen, I'm going with New Jack City. That's one of my favorite. I mean, we got Pookie, man. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. So I'm all about New Jack City, and what's my girl? The light skinned sister that Wesley Snipes left for the Pimp on the Booty girl. Man, I mean, she was beautiful in that movie.
Beautiful. There was one too during that time called, I think, King of New York with Christopher Walken. Did you ever see that? It came out about that time too.
I never. You know what? I have not. I have not
That's
seen
good
that.
too. The King of New York with Christopher Walken is really good. There's no doubt about that. It's funny when you think about New Jack City. New Jack City was it was based on a true story. It's the American Gangster story with Denzel Washington is that real story, but New Jack City was based on that story, right?
Yes. Hey, by the way, which one are you taking of those? Are you taking out of that?
Man, it's tough not to go with Goodfellas. I mean, I like New Jack City and I love Casino too, but it's tough not to want to go with Goodfellas. That's just really good all the way through. I mean, you start when they're really young and lead all the way through. Henry Hill's story is pretty significant to say the least. So I'd probably go there.
Yeah, and we mentioned Boys in the Hood, man. I still get mad every time I watch it. And mind you, I watch Boys in the Hood, all those movies like it's the first time I've seen it. And every time Ricky decides to stop and drain the main vein after he's getting chased, I'm like, bro, pee on yourself, man. Stay alive and pee down your leg. Do not worry about stopping and don't worry about stopping and going in the alley. Go ahead and pee on yourself.
It's just like those horror movies where you either corner yourself in a basement or in a closet. I've always said this about the horror movies. Like in Friday the 13th, you got this old woman running around with like stuff and killing you, right? Some old woman in a grandma sweater running around and killing you. I always thought, man, get up on the roof so you can see some things here. And it's tough for her to get up there. And then if she sees you up there and starts to try to climb up, you can climb back down. Get up on the roof. What's wrong with that?
Exactly. Or when you hear noise, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, Petey, let's go see what that noise is. No, run your ass out the room. Get out the room. Do not be nosy, because the reality is you're going to go be nosy, then you're going to start running, then you're going to trip, and like a dummy, you're going to try to crawl away from the killer. Like you're going to outrun the killer crawling.
You think Ricky had NFL-level talent?
He did, man. By the way, man, what was the Just Me and You by Tony Tone? Tony Tone was the song in that one when he was practicing, and then he was relaxing in the locker room after practice that day. Man, we can go 90s movies all day, brother.
Dude, I just watched Boys in the Hood again the other day. It always kind of makes me laugh because, the story is, and you saw it in Straight Outta Compton, that Eazy-E told Ice Cube he told the media that watching that movie with Ice Cube was like watching an after-school special.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, hey, so this is your last Bourbon Backyard?
It is, yeah. It is.
We are up in the Berg. We got to wait till the spring for the Berg?
We're going to get to the Berg, though. I promise you that. I promise. Promise you that.
All right.
Yes, it is absolutely coming to the Berg. There's no doubt about that. Are you up in Chicago?
I am. I just finished walking the first 7 holes with Tiger Woods, thinking of the course right now. It is hotter than chicken grease out here, up here in Chicago with the humidity. So, but it's enjoyable. I mean, I will say I do wish I would have been at the Colts complex today to listen to their message and what they had to say. Obviously, I don't think anybody knew this was going to happen when they asked me a couple weeks ago if I'd come up to Chicago and cover the BMW. But definitely a big day down there in Indy on 56th Street.
Yeah, I mean, that's just I heard a lot of people talking about it earlier today and what they're doing, and then you see kind of this going around in the NFL. You see it going on in the NBA, and there's one thing NBA-wise we haven't talked about is what you think about the change in head coaching that the Pacers decided to make with Nate McMillan.
I will say, obviously, a contract. I'm sure there's probably some language in the contract extension that gives the Pacers some money back or whatever if they were to fire him. And I know this is not YMCA youth ball where they're going to get Capri Suns and orange slices after the game. But with that said, I mean, this roster was depleted. This was a depleted roster. But Nate McMillan, there's no way you should go out there and get swept in the first round of the playoffs against Miami. Miami was a better team. Miami was tougher than them. They had more talent on the roster. They have a better head coach and their exposure, but you still got to be able to find a way to win at least one game. Maybe two games in that series.
I think that if they would have won a game and they hadn't been swept, I still think that they would have made that decision because I think too many people wanted to move on from his offensive philosophies. Whether or not, D'Antoni is the guy that we had talked about. I brought him up with you about a month ago. Whether or not it's D'Antoni that Adrian Wojnarowski had mentioned or, a guy like Kenny Atkinson, which, was an offensive analytics guru or anybody else, it just appeared that they were at the end of the line with a lot of things, and at the front of that was the offensive philosophy of Nate.
Yeah, clearly Malcolm Brogdon was not a big fan of it. I think, it's one of those deals like, all right, Nate's an old school coach. He's old school. He prides himself on defense. That's what allowed him to play in the NBA for so long during his playing career. But the game has changed. You have to adapt. Very unfortunate. I would have enjoyed seeing what the Pacers could have done had they been able to stay relatively healthy for the most part. I would enjoy seeing if they could have had, even Sabonis playing at 75 or 80% in this playoff series.
Yeah, and then begs the question, if they are actually trying to look at D'Antoni, somebody like that, how's this roster makeup right now going to play a role? Because it doesn't seem like that's the type of roster that would equate to a higher volume of threes and that type of D'Antoni offense if he becomes available and that's their main target.
They have to change. They have to change their roster. They have to change. They're going to have to change their roster if they're going to try to get a guy like Mike D'Antoni. But let's just say, what if for some odd reason the Rockets make a run and go deep in the playoffs, get to the NBA Finals? You think Houston's going to let him leave? Would he want to leave, having James Harden and Russell Westbrook to come to Indiana? I think we're probably prefacing this is if they lose in the second round of the playoffs and D'Antoni becomes a free agent and the Pacers are able to go after him.
Michael Michelle is who you're looking for, by the way.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
You know that she's originally from Evansville, right? You knew that.
Yes, she is. She was in a show. It was very short-lived with Tay Diggs about 14, 15 years ago. Her and Tay Diggs were in a show. Man, hey, them eyes will mesmerize anybody, boy.
Michael Michelle. I'm looking at New Jack City. We're talking with Mike Wells on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. She started, I think, in TV on First and 10, which was in a great HBO football show back in the day. Dangerous Curves. That sounds pretty good. New York Undercover in the mid-'90s. Central Park West. Yeah. The Players.
And IC killed her in New York Undercover, too, man.
Yeah.
IC was in it. He came in and he killed her because he was with she was dating old boy, the dark-skinned brother on the show.
Michael Michelle, originally from Evansville, Indiana, right there. So there you go. Hey, regarding the Colts, Mike Wells joins us. You think people are a little going overboard with the 12 and 13 win season predictions?
Yeah, I'm not going that far. I can see them winning 10, maybe 11 games, 12, 13 wins. Man, that's giving them a whole lot of credit. And I'm not a big fan of the predictions, especially in today's age with no preseason games and we're not seeing a whole lot out of things. We don't know how good Phillip Rivers is going to be. I think one thing we can probably bank on with a healthy offensive line, they are going to have success running the ball. Now it's a matter of what can Phillip Rivers do from a quarterback standpoint and throwing the football.
Yeah, running game, is that an absolute? because they have the veteran Marlon Mack and they have Jonathan Taylor. Is that an absolute positive? I mean, is there anything outside of injuries where you see this not taking place? And I mean, not just injuries to the running backs themselves, but, offensive line injuries, which I think if there is a spot on this team that would concern Colts fans, it would be the depth on that offensive line, Mike.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I mentioned this earlier when earlier in camp when Braden Smith had been out. You can't bank on LaRaven Clark to be your starting right tackle. Luckily, Braden Smith is back out there, but they cannot afford to have anybody miss any significant time out of that starting group because I think there's a drastic drop-off from starters to backups on the Colts O-line.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, and Chris has built this, into his vision, certainly, but I mean, all it takes is one. And the one thing that has really been evident over the years and has been a staple for this team would be significant injuries derailing things.
Exactly. Hey, I know we're going to be going to commercial break real quick. Can we go back to the Pacers real quick?
Go right. Go ahead. Go there.
What do they do with Miles this summer? Do they keep him for another year, or do you think he's the one that gets moved?
Oh, here's what's funny about it.
Is he the one that needs to be moved?
I've said all along that I think that they're going to shop Miles, and he'll probably be someplace else. But I will tell you this, and even with 18.5 and 12.5 from Domas Sabonis, if you get a D'Antoni style of offense in here, as for a big man, that's certainly better for Miles than it is Domas.
Yes, I agree with you 100% on that. I was going to allude to that if you get somebody like D'Antoni, because that's the only way Miles Turner is going to be able to take his game to another level is if he gets into a system where they get up and down the court, where they run more. Miles Turner is not a half court offense guy. He's not going to have a lot of success playing in a half court offense. That is Sabonis. But if you flip it around and get up and down, it's definitely the offense will cater more for Miles than it will be DeMontis.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they're going to play two bigs anymore. I don't think there's any way about that. But the whole philosophy change offensively is easier said than done because it's great. It sounds great, but I mean, do they have the type of personnel right now that's conducive of that? I mean, hell, honestly, they were probably more conducive to running ISO ball with Malcolm Brogdon than shooting a higher volume of threes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, you're right. I tell you this: you get D'Antoni, and a guy like Doug McDermott's going to get even more playing time if he's on the roster next season.
Tell me this though: outside of D'Antoni or Atkinson, any other names out there that might be interesting? Any young coaches out there? We've heard Becky Hammonds. We've heard Tim Duncan. I've had those calls. People talk about Mark Jackson, and then some of these recyclable type of guys. But anybody else out there interest you as far as possibilities?
You know what? I don't have anybody off the top of my head, but the one thing I don't want to happen is they, do the trend of recycling the head coaches. I mean, these guys are unemployed for a reason. I mean, if you're try to get somebody, give a shot on somebody else. I mean, because when you recycle guys, it gets stale and it gets boring and it gets old because at some point they're not gonna last too long because there was a reason why they were fired in the previous stop.
Where does on the list of the 5 available head coaching positions in the NBA right now, of those 5, where do the Pacers rank in your opinion with those 5?
So what we got Pacers, Brooklyn,
New Orleans, Chicago
New Orleans,
and Philadelphia.
Pacers are number 5. No, I'm sorry. No, number 4. Number 4 right. in front of Chicago. I mean, you got Kyrie and Durant in Brooklyn. You got Ben Simmons and Embiid in Philly, and then obviously you got Zion and Ball and the swingman out of Duke. In New Orleans.
You got Brandon Ingram is who you're talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, give me any of those 3 jobs over the Pacers job easily. And honestly, knowing the uncertainty surrounding Victor Oladipo after next season, I might be interested in Zach LaVine and Chicago over the Pacers.
Oh, dude, no way. Zach LaVine in Chicago? What?
Listen, I'm telling you, you got Victor Oladipo. I'm just saying the Pacers job is not overly enticing. I mean, obviously, if you're a guy who wants to be a head coach, you're going to go after it. But come on, Victor Oladipo, you don't know if he's going to be around. You got the Miles Turner, Sabonis situation, and I am exaggerating. I would take the Pacers seriously.
See, but the reason why I say that is, I mean, even if you do have this personnel, you bring in a coach and the personnel doesn't change that dramatically, you're still going to win 45-plus games next year. If you have 45-plus games,
and you're a playoff team.
Yeah. I mean, you may be back to square one, and you may end up being 8 in 3-4 years, but you're going to win 45 games. There's some attraction there, is there not? And not going someplace where there's an endless rebuild, and like you've seen in Chicago, or there's been an endless rebuild like we've seen. You know, how many times are you going to reset in New Orleans? I mean, they'll reset again once Williamson has the opportunity to get the hell up out of there. So, I mean, is there a little bit of attraction? Is there attraction to being stable for about 4 years to a head coach in a market?
There's a few years before Zion's going to get out of town. I mean, he just completed his rookie year. I'm rolling the dice with Zion, Brandon Ingram, and Ball over the Pacers.
Always good, buddy. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you got going on? Nothing? Zero?
Nah. I ain't got nothing else. Enjoy yourself. Drink a lot of bourbon, and if they have a pool, do not jump in butt ass naked. All right, please don't.
You got it. I'll thrill the folks here with that. But the police had to bring me here because I got lost, and they're still here. I don't know if they'd like that. So
they're gonna be driving you home, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, Mike.
All right, talk to you.
That's Mike Wells of ESPN.com. Is there something to say about a little stability in the NBA, though? Because aren't the Pacers going to win? I know that there's a big question mark regarding Vic. Is he going to stay the entire year? Is he going to go? Whatever. But let's just say that roster looks nearly the same. Starters and such, don't they win 45-plus games? Isn't there something to be said by the stability? And, I mean, with Philadelphia, they've been trying that same old thing forever. I mean, there's – got to cross your fingers on there if you go there, too. Just curious. Quick break, and we'll come back. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3 in Greenfield. We're with Zach and Jill Meggie. Heaven Hill Distillery, New Belgium Brewery. We got Connecticut Water, and we've got Ford's Garage Food. Shout out to Richard, who is awesome, too. They have been great. Pat Sullivan, top of the hour. Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Hashtag Ask Pat. Brent Halverson, the 5 o'clock hour, too. 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
NBA playoffs are in full swing. Michelob Ultra wants to help you add to your man cave, so visit 1075thefan.com for a chance at winning a Michelob Ultra limited edition fridge. BetMGM Sports invites you to join in on the summer fun with a risk-free bet. New customers making their first sports wager with bonus code WFNI500 will get up to $500 in free bets if the wager loses. All you have to do is sign up, make your first wager to take advantage of this offer. An August packed with basketball, baseball, hockey. It just happens once in a lifetime, so don't miss this chance to get a piece of the action at BetMGM with live betting, boosted odds specials, and much more. Believe in your game with the same folks that bring you the most iconic casino hotels in the world. Download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code WFNI500 to get back up to $500 in free bets on your first wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older and physically located in Indiana. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, this is John for Connecticut. Shout out to Joe, John, and Dennis. They got their 50th anniversary celebration coming up September 10th through the 12th at their 2 area locations where you can win stuff and get free stuff. But I'm all about Connecticut Water, the best hydration you can have right now. And here, I'm going to shout out to Joe. I'm going to do this, and I'm not completely sure I should, but I'm going to. Joe kind of gave me the heads up. But here's what I want you to do. Right now, if you don't have Connecticut Water and you would love to have the Premier Series water softener and the K5 in-home drinking water station, call 317-416-5019. 317-416-5019. Ask for Joe. And if you buy the Premier Series water softener, they'll give you the K5 in-home drinking water station absolutely free. Absolutely free. So the K5 in-home drinking water station free if you buy the Premier Series water softener right now with Connecticut Joe. 317-416-5019. 5019. One more time, 317-416-5019. That offer is extended to you while we're on the air. Ask for Joe and tell him that I sent you. Connecticut, 2 locations in central Indiana. That's northeast side, Castleton, south side, US 31 and Southport Road. The Connecticut Water app. Download that to your smartphone or device today or online, ConnecticutIndy.com today. Remember, Connecticut Joe and that fantastic deal going down right now with Connecticut. Tell him I sent you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Mortgage interest rates are in the 2s, and we are saving folks hundreds, even thousands of dollars a month with an easy refinance. If you're thinking about a refinance, we can drop your rate, get you some cash out, skip 2 months of payments, and close in 30 days. And if you're buying a home, let your realtor know that you can close in 30 days or less at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
John for PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com. It's Darren Andrews with that private consultation. Very easy. If you're losing your hair, you got a receding hairline, let PAI regenerate, regrow your hair with PRP. You have options with my friends at PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com. Your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
Hey, it's JMV for LD Smith Plumbing at 317-284-9526. They're the absolute best, and one thing you don't want to live without is a battery backup on your sump pump. And right now, LD Smith Plumbing is offering a free primary sump pump with installation on a battery backup system in your home. 317-284-9526. That's LD Smith Plumbing. The best at following CDC recommended guidelines. For more info online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
We all see the world a little differently now. We notice little things we used to take for granted, like driving. Something as simple as just hopping in the car to go to work or take the kids to school. But roads don't just happen. They're built by men and women living in central Indiana. It's as easy to take those workers for granted as the concrete and asphalt you drive on. Members of Laborers International Union of North America maintain and build Hoosiers' roads, bridges, and highways. They're the ones you pass as you drive by the orange barrels. It's hard work. It's dangerous work. And yet there they are, doing the essential work to make sure you have a smoother, safer ride to your destination. And just like you, they want to get home safe too. So, sure, take the roads for granted, but remember the local workers who make them safe for you.
This is Ray Hobbs, business manager of Labor's Local 741. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, open your eyes, pay attention.
A message from Indiana's affiliated locals of Laborers International Union of North America.
Quick Shred now protects your identity not only by shredding, but by erasing and recycling electronics in their expanded full-service location at 62nd and Binford. 1 out of every 3 people will lose their identity this year. Protect your identity with Quick Shred. Recycle old computers, monitors, cell phones, printers, and flat-screen TVs. Quick Shred works hard to protect your identity. Visit QuickShredIndy.com. Quick Shred's open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 2. Quick Shred.
The NTT IndyCar Series races at Gateway tomorrow and Sunday at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down cause my
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3, the Maggie's house. It's Zach and Jill. That's close to Jack and Jill. Zach and Jill, Greenfield, Indiana. Shout out to Greenfield's finest, Andrew and Brock, for getting me here on time right before 3 o'clock. That's awesome. Cam is here engineering. Kyle is back at the studio, and we've got a lot going on, which I'll explain in a second. All right. Hey, shout out to Pat. Before we start, hashtag Ask Pat at 5 o'clock. You were in Denver last weekend. You missed us.
That's right.
Yes.
Denver for a new granddaughter.
That is awesome right there. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Did you bring me back any weed, though?
Yeah, I got the brownies.
All right. You
brought you the
don't say
officer.
anything
That was a joke, officer.
Brock and Andrew are here.
There's
so
no
don't mention
brownies
that out
over
loud.
here.
Yeah.
I just got this from my wife in Denver. She stayed, Beth stayed with the, and you know what? I was driving back, so she wanted to make sure. So I let her track my phone so she could because I drove straight through 16 hours because I still have it. And it said, so right now, 4:54, she says, remote in Greenfield or new girlfriend. All right. It's good to know she's tracking the phone.
Well, I couldn't find my way here. I got lost, in fact.
How could you get lost?
Because my phone was sending me in the wrong direction. And Brock and Andrew brought me here. They did. Right there.
Is that
Brock and Andrew.
Greenfield's finest?
That is. Greenfield's
How'd
finest.
they pick you
Great
up?
dudes.
Were they just watching for you?
I waved them down.
Oh, great.
I waved them down. I go, and they were kind enough to bring me here.
Well, that's great. Yeah. I'm glad they could hang out.
It was awesome, man. It was.
And they're doing some investigative work. I don't want to make it think like they're not working. I mean, they've been making reports, full reports, the whole thing.
They're doing
it's
everything.
It's a great house. Now, let me just ask you: do you have to go through the garage to get into the backyard? Because that's how I got here.
Hey, Zach, do we have to go through the garage?
Is that how you got in here?
I don't remember. I was like, my head was spinning.
I came through the garage.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah, I drained the water tank. It looked like there was a little bit of sediment in it, but I came right through. I didn't know. I just walked. I didn't see another way to get in.
Yeah, the garage is fine. They were all drinking in the garage when Andrew and Brock brought me up here. So.
No, tank was in pretty good shape. Just a little bit of little maintenance on it would be okay. Yeah.
Pat Sullivan, Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Hashtag Ask Pat 239-1070 coming up on the other side. Jimi Hendrix of Live Nation is here. He's going to join us too. Brent Halverson of Heaven Hill is also here. We will join with him in the 5 o'clock hour. Pat Sullivan, other side, 239-1070 or hashtag Ask Pat. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3 at the Meggies in Greenfield on 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
This is Tim Wicker with Electric Plus, an electrical contractor powering Indiana with offices in Avon, Bloomington, Lafayette, and Kokomo. We lead the race in new construction, modernizations, and service repair. Our teams excel at industrial, commercial, healthcare, and 24/7 emergency coverage. Just like race car drivers desire to be the best, the mission of Electric Plus is to be the best electrical contractor, period. Our highly skilled professionals are ready to take the track when you call. For more information, please visit electricplus.com and let's go racing.
For one weekend only, join Summit Performance Indianapolis for a smart, witty, and COVID-19 conscious return to live theater. August 27th through the 29th at 6:30 p.m., Summit presents a live outdoor staged reading of Helen by Ellen McLaughlin at Allen Whitehill Clues Amphitheater on Marion University campus. Bring your own chairs, blankets, beverages, and snacks. No alcohol permitted. Parking's available, $10 per ticket plus processing fees. Recommended for ages 13 and older. Visit summitperformanceindy.com for information and a full list of COVID-19 precautions.
Denny Smith here. My friends at Sundown Gardens are gearing up for a fantastic fall. All shrubs are 20% off now through August 30th. See all the hydrangeas, roses, ornamental grasses, and foundation plants like boxwood and yews. Mums and fall annuals have started to arrive. The gift shop is full of beautiful autumn-themed decor. There's even a fun Halloween section for indoor and outdoor decorating. Save the date for the Fall Open House, September 19th. Sundown Gardens at 186 and Spring Mill Road, sundown.gardens.com.
Hey, John here for FanDuel. The NBA postseason's re-firing coming up tomorrow. FanDuel Sportsbook has a great offer for you. Right now, new users get a special plus 2,000 odds. Any team to make the NBA Finals, that's any team of your choice, including the favorites. You put $10 down, and that's your chance to win $200. FanDuel Sportsbook, and all you got to do to fire your own app up is to use my promo code JMV. That's essential here. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code JMV. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. 21 plus, present in Indiana, new users only, must wager on designated Boost Market, max bonus $200. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Amazon is hiring near you. Earn a competitive wage and start as soon as 7 days. No resume or experience required. Health and safety are a top priority with all of our roles and sites. Amazon is taking precautions in our buildings to keep people healthy. Go to amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, Indiana. Everybody knows there are things in life that make total sense, like switching to Geico. They offer 24/7 access to licensed agents and have a 97% customer satisfaction rating.
Other things make no sense, like chicken fingers. Last time I checked, birds don't have fingers. And don't get me started on buffalo wings.
However, it makes total sense to bundle your home and car insurance with Geico. You could save a lot, and they can insure your motorcycle, boat, and RV. Geico also has discounts for military and federal employees.
But it makes no sense that the word abbreviation is so long.
On the other hand, it still makes total sense to switch to Geico. They have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver. They even have local agents you can meet face-to-face.
Conversely, it makes no sense that a doctor's workplace is called a practice. Aren't they supposed to be done practicing after med school?
So, Indiana, it makes sense to switch to Geico, online, over the phone, or with your local agent.
Guys, erectile dysfunction got you down? The Indianapolis Men's Clinic's all-male staff specializes in treating ED and other sexual health-related issues. Call today for a consultation, 999-9000.
See IndyCar in person and enjoy great camping in 2021 at Road America. The $111 four-day tickets available for a limited time at roadamerica.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Colts take on the Chiefs in the 2003 playoffs. Sunday at noon on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
It takes him a second to get on the stool because he's under 5 feet tall.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Pat Sullivan, Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Hashtag Ask Pat. Get those questions in here. Backyard Bourbon broadcast number 3 at the Maggie's Place in Greenfield. Heaven Hill Distillery, New Belgium Brewery. We got Connecticut Water, and we got our friends at Ford's Garage with the food. We'll get to Pat in just a second because he has noticed some things in the Maggie's backyard that you think need to be addressed.
No,
he's got a small list.
Some people are into peeling paint.
A small list. Andrew Pfaff and Brock Smith are here with me right now of Greenfield's finest, the police department. So your day kind of changed a little bit earlier when I flagged you down.
I don't understand why this is so hard every week with you.
No, it's not, though, man. Go
ahead.
I've not been late for anything in 20 years. And this was almost the first time I've ever been late. I got here literally 3 minutes before I went on. Never been that late. Never. Everything all right there?
Yeah.
You all good?
Yeah.
All right, well, tell me how I got started, Andrew.
Well, we were driving south on Meridian here in Greenfield, and he was behind me, and he said, hey, there's a guy, waving me down, trying to flag me down.
A real sketchy guy.
Yeah, sketchy guy.
I was really sketchy.
He said he was hanging out the window, swinging his shirt around or something like that. I'm not sure. So he said, hey, pull over. Let's see what this guy wants. And so we pulled over, and he gets out. Hey, I'm going to be late to my radio show. Can you help me out with directions? And so I try to tell him, hey, this is where you need to go. This is where it's at. And he's just staring at me blankly, and I'm just blankly.
I was a little confused.
I know that stare.
I was confused with the directions you were given.
So Brock just goes, hey, why don't you just drive him over there and show him where it's at? And so
you guys came over there. Now, my phone was taking me
So
in the
you
wrong
actually
direction.
followed the guys.
I was in the middle. Andrew was in the lead.
We sandwiched him right in.
Yes. I got the full escort.
Yep.
Right here.
So the secret
So embarrassing.
is your location services were not on. That's why your map
Is it
was
not?
It was not on. Yeah.
See,
I hate to call you out like this, but
that's okay. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Believe me.
So wait a minute.
So
you
location
confiscated his
services
phone?
they're essential. Location services are essential.
If you want to get anywhere, with the map.
I'm so good directionally, and this I don't know. I was just a block away, and then I just kept going further west.
So they confiscated your phone and found out your location.
I showed him.
services?
I showed Brock. I go, man. I was a nervous wreck.
panicked.
I was a nervous wreck because I thought I was going to be late.
It happens.
I called Brent. And Brent goes, man, he sounds like he's outside his mind right now. I think I was a little bit. I've been late in 20 years. 20 years.
You still technically weren't late.
I wasn't late
weren't
either.
late.
I wasn't. Hey, I want to thank you guys, though. You guys are
Hey, no
awesome.
problem.
Absolutely awesome. How many years you been with Greenfield PD, Andrew?
5, and this is actually my third or fourth month full time getting paid for it.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nicely done. How about you, Brock?
I've been here for 4.5 years.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Well, thank you very much. And just
thanks for
hang
getting
out
them here,
and-
guys.
Hey,
really.
no problem.
Yes.
Thanks for your
Thanks for the
service, too.
story more so than anything else. It's a good story right there. Because you guys pulled up and I was between you. Everybody was going, what is
everyone's
happening
like,
here?
Oh, no, they're crashing. They're crashing the car.
What is happening here? That is Andrew Pfaff. I am pronouncing that correctly, right? Poff. Andrew Poff. Andrew Poff. I should have written that down phonetically. Andrew Poff and Brock Smith of the Greenfield Police Department. Thank you, guys.
Let's hear it for
Andrew
the
Brock,
Greenfield
thank
Police,
you,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you very
That
much.
is a job well done. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Enjoy the food over
Appreciate
there
the
from
service,
Ford's
guys.
Garage, too.
I already did. It's very good.
Oh, it is
very
good, man. They bring it all. They do. Here's Pat Sullivan here at Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
John,
Hello.
it's great to see you, man.
Yeah. I think your mic just went off for some reason.
You know, I
There
feel
you're
like
back
it did.
now.
There we go.
Yeah. There you go. Cameron's on top of it there.
Sure he is.
All right, so what are some of the things? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it again. Stay in touch, too.
Wait a minute.
Well, I mean,
stay
not-
in touch.
yeah,
Don't
not
stay in
that
touch.
way.
We'll call you.
Yeah. So tell me some of the things you've seen around here.
No. This is a great. Matter of fact, I would love to get the account on patio furniture here. I mean, look at this.
Yes.
I mean, we've got that bar is fabulous.
Yes.
They got a nice table set out there, cast aluminum. We got some cast aluminum wicker chase lounges over here. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm going to trim up the hanging baskets over there. They've kind of let those go a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really sure.
Does it need a haircut a little bit there?
It needs a big haircut.
Does it
And I'm
need
not
watered?
sure whose idea of putting the red salvia in that basket. That did
Oh,
not
man.
work. But listen, and some people like to let their mulch go gray. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know the weird thing is, you don't see 5-inch gutters anymore. 5-inch gutters is kind of a rarity, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of a throwback right up here instead of, I mean, some people want their gutters to get clogged up. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed, I mean, they got this big tree. I don't even know. Yeah, it's in their yard.
Yeah.
Does that tree dump all the leaves in that pool, you think?
No, but they have the.
They have a cover.
They got the cover.
Yeah.
So and they probably got a pool boy. Do you guys have a pool boy?
Yeah,
Right there.
no pool boy.
He's got a pool boy.
I like the fireplace back there, though. That's
And
pretty
it is.
awesome.
This is a nice setup. It's a
Yeah.
nice setup. I like the mixed turf too: crabgrass, bluegrass, and some clumpy fescue.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah.
'Cause
What would you do with that, you think?
Nothing. I think it's great. I think some people want a real nice bluegrass lawn, and I like people that are willing to step out and mix, weeds, crab in with clumpy fescue, and then mix some blue in with it. It looks great.
Yeah.
It really does.
All things.
Yeah. they
All
got
things
some-
to consider.
They got some marijuana growing there in that spruce tree. You see that right in the
I
middle?
see it right down there. That's
see
well
that?
done.
That is marijuana right
That's
in
how
there.
I hide mine when I grow
Yeah.
it, too. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Like kind of mix it in with
It
other
is
stuff.
right under Greenfield's finest nose. They don't even see it.
Hey, how are things going for you at Sullivan Hardware
Things are
and
going
Garden?
good, man. We are after it. We just got 2 more containers of artificial Christmas trees in today.
You're kidding me.
No,
Already?
Yeah. Got to get them out of the country, before.
When do you actually put them on display? Next week? Seriously,
No,
coming up though.
yeah, we'll start. We have to start setting them up by
You
mid-September.
got your
to make-
Halloween stuff up now, huh?
Probably.
Oh,
Halloween
think?
is not. Are you a big Halloween guy?
Well, I'm not a bit. I mean, I like
You like
those,
the
I
drinking
like those
part of
little,
it.
yeah, and I like those little things you put batteries in, and they're like the little Halloween landscapes of things flying around and spooky sounds and
Yeah.
things. I like that.
But you're on the.
Yeah.
You probably don't get a lot of trick or treaters out your way.
You know, I don't know if we've ever had one out there.
Really?
Yeah, because like you said, we look really sketchy, and people go, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a bird.
Some
there's
people,
bird's
it's a
nest on
big
top of his
deal. It's a
front light.
big Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween is big holiday for a lot of people. So
I mean, you got that.
we
and,
skip it. We go right to Christmas.
You just go right to Christmas. Well,
We
I mean,
have
Christmas,
to.
Christmas is your big deal, right?
It
there,
is, and
for
it
real.
takes what people don't realize. A lot of stores are really into it. It takes 6 to 8 weeks to set it up.
Does it really?
So you know what we love, and we would encourage everyone if you would come in and just find one of our staff members and go, Christmas already. That's something we love. We love to hear that.
Well, and you know,
may get-
if the holidays are listening to the show right now, remember you probably won't have to sit in the line this year if you're the holidays.
Oh, you're
like
talking about
Aaron,
from
Aaron
the Pacers,
and Justin.
yeah.
So
I really
'cause you
owe
love
them an
that
apology.
story.
Yeah,
you love that story.
Yeah, they
so.
they came last year to get fresh cut trees, and first they wanted to get on the Sullivan Express train. And
Yes, they did.
I tell you what, my staff, I have a lot of Pacer fans among my staff, including myself. And so you see a couple of the Pacers come in, and you want to take care of them, right?
Yep.
And they see the trains going and the pack. I mean, trains are leaving every 7.5 minutes. They go, hey, we want to take our kids. No, only one has kids. One's
I think Justin
way
has the
younger.
kids. Yeah, Aaron does not. Yeah.
And so they, go on the train. It's like there is no tickets on this train.
Oh, man.
And man, we could not. So first of all, we couldn't get them on the train because there's no tickets.
Yeah,
so we tried to hold some back, but we just didn't have any. And so then they got their trees, and every once, it was right after a Colts game, as I recall, and then we get hit, and we have the way you kind of line up to get your tree loaded. So I don't know if you knew this, but most cars don't have luggage racks anymore. So it's really hard to tie a tree to the roof anymore. So here comes the holidays. They get locked in this line of 50 cars. They both have trucks.
Yeah.
And you know how you load a tree in the truck? You throw it in.
So you can just throw it in and be on your way.
I bet we held those guys up for 30 minutes. And I'm sitting there like just doing a slow.
There wasn't too much happiness there, was there?
No.
Yeah. What are you going to do, man?
Yeah, so they didn't get a train ride, and we held them up for but could we get an autograph? So
Pat Sullivan is Sullivan Hardware and Garden right there. Hashtag Ask Pat on Twitter. This is from Jason. How do you get rid of these little white flies? I've tried the 7 and cutter sprays already. Thanks.
Did he say where those little white flies are?
He did not. I guess they're just flying around.
If they're outside, if they're around foliage, I would probably try to use malathion. And I think that's a little stronger, but depending on if they're inside or something like that, don't do that.
Is it just me, or is it the leaves seem like that they're falling right now? Are those just on dead trees, or
probably
were they the first ones out, or what? Because it's weird kind of seeing some fall on some trees right now.
You know what? It's been a little dry. We got quite a bit of rain on the north side.
We got nothing
today.
down. We got nothing where I am.
Oh,
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it was there was good enough rain that Carmel opened the roof to allow the rain in up in Carmel.
Did they really?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, to get a little natural rainwater up there.
Well, I mean, they had to, get my friends at Connecticut to make sure you purify that water too. So.
That's right.
Yeah,
but you know what? I wonder if some of there was such a weird when we had the record cold temperatures in May. So some of the trees are doing, like especially Japanese maples, never quite recovered, and they're starting to drop their second set of leaves kind of early. So you might be seeing some of that weird
That's
stuff.
That's what I was thinking. It was just a little bit weird than you normally would see right there. It looks like stuff was coming down. I don't know. I've seen it a little bit.
Hey, let's face it. If we could get fall going and move on to Christmas, get Christmas taken care of in October, and let's get the hell out of 2020. How about that?
I'm right there with you.
How
on
about that?
That's Pat Sullivan.
Let's say we start 2021 11-1.
I think that's a hell of an idea right there. Pat joins us. What things should homeowners be concerned about with their property right now?
You know, right now, what the time is to look at the lawn. So if you have those bad patches, like I have bent grass, really bad. You know, the bent grass like a putting green, but bent grass can be invasive to bluegrass lawns. And I had this little patch. I mean, a foot when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 60 now, and that thing is now everywhere. So the fine folks from Sundown Garden who take care of my lawn.
I heard Denny Smith talking about him.
And they have come out and they've killed those patches. So what I guess my point is, if you're thinking about reseeding and you have areas to kill, you have to do that now. If you wait until mid-September to spray the goo on, then it's going to be too late to plant the grass seed. This fall seeding window is usually mid-August through about the third week of September. You wait much longer than that, it may germinate, but then the freeze and thaw cycle of the winter will pop it out of the ground, and you'll be disappointed.
Gotcha.
I won't, because you'll be buying more grass seed.
Right. You'll like that
year.
very much.
Look at those nice geraniums over on the table. Those are beautiful.
Hey, Jimmy, come on over here. We're going to chat you up here in just a second, too. Jimmy Hendricks of Live Nation is also here. Pat Sullivan of Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Hey, I got a quick reminder, too. Joe from Connecticut has this deal for you. Premier Series water softener you buy, and they're going to throw in a K5 in-home drinking water station absolutely free. So you get the Premier Series water softener, you get the best water, and then they'll give you the K5 in-home drinking water station absolutely free. Tell Joe that I sent you. 317-416-5019. 317-416-5019. 5019. We'll get Jimmy over here and let Jimmy get mounted up here and join Pat and I in just a second. You guys got a little IBC stuff going tomorrow morning at 9 too, right?
We do. Tomorrow morning, 9:06 for our 4-hour show. You know what we're going to do?
I called in last week without you, too.
You did. Thank you. Because you know what? The show really probably sucked when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Did it sound like they were?
It needed a little bit of a help.
Yeah, I figured it did. I was kind of hoping that you'd hang for at least a couple hours.
It did.
But tomorrow we're going to have Mel McMahon back in, and we're going to do a little this is the exciting type of stuff. Yeah, I mean, you get to interview big-time sports heroes and stuff like that. We're going to be taste testing tomatoes.
That's awesome.
Tomorrow in the 11 o'clock hour.
You know, I like tomato sauce, but I'm not eating a tomato.
You know what?
I throw those little things off all the time. I mean, do you think tomato's not a hand fruit for a reason?
It is.
No, it's not.
Dude,
Jimmy, is tomato a hand fruit?
I mean, I would
it's
think
a fruit,
it is.
though, right?
It fits in
it's not
your
a vegetable.
hand.
What about the little cherry tomatoes?
Those are gross, man. They squirt. You know, I mean, it's like.
You know what? Why don't you make that the Connecticut question of the day, and you're going to get shot down again.
I like tomato sauce, and I dig on ketchup, but I just don't. I wouldn't eat a tomato for nothing. I don't think I ever have eaten a tomato.
How about a BLT with a slice of
tomato?
If
I can't see it, I might eat it. But if I see it, I'm not eating it. Does that make sense? Who's
Nothing
with me? It's going to make sense.
Makes sense.
No. With a tomato, if there's anybody out there like me, if you can't see it, it's okay. But if you see it, I'm not eating it. True story. Jimmy? No?
Do you know that?
I'm not there with you.
Do you know that the tomato is the state of Indiana? That's the official fruit.
Is it now?
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it. Right?
What's the? Is that red gold that has
red gold?
The plant here? Right.
Yeah,
it's a big time plant.
That is.
I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not down with that program. I don't know why.
No coleslaw, no tomatoes.
I can't stand coleslaw. It's gross. It just looks white, watery grossness.
You're barely a Hoosier. You really aren't.
I get lost. I can't find my way to a place. Yeah. I'm barely a Hoosier.
Damn.
That is true. And what else are you guys doing tomorrow morning, too?
So we got the big show.
Yes.
And so we will go till 1 o'clock, and that is 93.1. So if you've never joined us, and if you are new to the show, I would assume, I mean, if you listen at least for a couple hours, because at first you're going to go, what the hell? But you know what? You may warm up to it, and it's we pretty much stay in our lane. We talk home improvements, gardening,
right?
And you know, we're not into sports, not in politics. We're just kind of hanging out, having a little bit of fun.
It's all good. I'm going to join you guys at some point tomorrow, too. Which
you
is
bring up,
I'm
telling you what, the gravitas that you've added to our show.
I dig gravitas.
Since, which neither one of us could spell that, by the way.
No, I couldn't.
You know that's true.
I think it's like, I could probably come close.
Gravitas.
Would not make it accurately.
T-O-S-S, toss.
I wouldn't make it accurately. There's no doubt about that. Tomorrow morning, about 9:06 is what I'm calling you?
9:06. No, you come in. No, you know what? Don't call it 9:06. We're just warming up the audience. You probably should come in at 10. Unless you're busy. If you're busy and if you want to open up the show, that's fine.
Tyler Fox says you can't claim to be a hillbilly if you don't eat cherry tomatoes off the plant.
Thank you very much.
That would make me sick. There's no way I'm doing that. Yes.
Dude, you're
off the plant?
What is your favorite food? If you could just, from the garden, like if something that would come out of a garden.
Probably
how about corn?
Green bean?
Corn.
Green bean?
Green bean.
I like green beans. Yeah. I like corn, too. I like corn on the cob. Yeah, you know how I eat corn on the cob? I take my shirt off and I go out on the back deck.
You always take your shirt off.
And do it like that.
You go around in a circle or across?
I get some, it falls out of my mouth.
Yeah, you go all the way around or back and forth?
Oh, I go all the way around.
All the way around.
I just do it like
down.
this. I do it like this.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Mexican street corn?
I haven't.
That's really good. Mexican street corn?
Love it. With the lime on top.
Yeah,
that's
lime,
really good.
cilantro, a little mayo or something on it. Isn't there mayo?
If I were going to eat something all the time,
absolutely.
it'd probably be rice or I dig on rice and pasta. I do like that a lot.
Dude,
I could eat that all the time.
Weird cat.
Telling you though, green beans. I like green beans.
Right.
I like snapping them. I'll eat some peas. Black beans. I'll eat black beans.
All right, that's fine. But just a little advice from your friend. Keep the no tomato thing on the down low.
Okay, I didn't know that was a bad deal. I thought everybody felt the same way.
Well, you'd be called a communist.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Stick for a second, Pat. Jimi Hendrix of Live Nation joins us. Long time no see. You got a mustache and everything now.
It's been way too long, but that's the way it goes right now.
How are things going in your industry right now?
It could be better. There's no reason to lie, but the The good news is I think the worst is behind us. You know, we are moving forward. We were able to do the drive-through concerts out at Ruoff back in July.
Did that go over well for you guys?
You know, everyone that was there was great. Everyone there was practicing, the safety precautions we needed with social distancing. And I really think it filled that void people needed right in the middle of summer with some live music.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of why I reached out, to come out today is because we're trying to bring that back at the old National Center. With our Live from the Lot concept. We've basically taken the huge parking lot that Old National Center has and scaled it down to a socially distanced capacity where we can offer live music and food trucks and just basically a place to gather.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing we've noticed that was missing is just the opportunity for people to come out safely, securely, and be together with, music entertaining them as opposed to, their regular routines of the restaurants and bars they could go to, which have been great. So we launched it last weekend officially, and the best part is we made it free.
Nice.
People can come out. There's no ticket. There's no cover charge. And we're right now we have to have that sense of community because if you offered me $100 and a Connecticut water system to tell you when live shows are coming back, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Be able
but
to tell us.
Right now we know that this is an option and people are coming and responding pretty well.
Last
to
one
it,
I saw was Yacht Rock Review on that Friday night in January, January the 10th. I believe.
JMV sucks, but this concert doesn't. You caught us right before it. Our last live show was March 11th. That day just sticks out into my mind because I never would have thought it was coming. And until last Saturday, we hadn't had a live performance at the Old National Center.
So how's all that work as far as at the Old National Center, what you guys have been doing?
So what we've done, we've basically taken a third of the parking lot and blocked it off. That way we can socially distance with the food vendors. And we brought in a 40 by 60 tent. That way there's shade, because that's one of the biggest things at the Old National Center. It's just an open area. So now we've got a place for people to be. We've got the tables not even 6 feet apart, but 8 feet apart. Stage on the north end of the tent for people to enjoy. And we basically have turned the loading dock where, normally we would have artists bringing in and unloading their gear to a little food court. Based on tomorrow, we've got Taste from the Caribbean, excuse me.
I like it.
Chef Dan's. And J&J's Roasted Corn. Speaking of
Mexican
corn,
roasted corn, Pat.
they're going to be out there serving food. And then we've got your good friend, DJ Indiana Jones.
I love
my good
DJ
friend
Indiana
as well.
Does a great show, by the way.
The noon hour.
The noon hour. The lunchbox mix is always good.
You can get that. Yep. He's going on at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And then we've got live music from Allison Victoria, very talented singer-songwriter from here in Indianapolis. She's going to go on at 2 o'clock. And something that I'm most nervous about is the 1 o'clock hour. I'm hosting bingo.
No, right,
so
really?
You can come on out.
I love bingo.
We've got that sponsored for prizes for adults and for kids, so it's going to be all ages to come out.
So that's 1 in the afternoon or 1 in the morning?
1 in the afternoon, Pat.
Because you're kind of going backward on the schedule. You start at 4 o'clock down to 2. And
you got the ball cage ready to go?
I do.
Ball cage?
I've got the ball cage.
I love the ball cage.
I've got the balloons to spell out bingo. I've got the prizes. I'm going to channel my inner Jimmy McGill. If you guys watch Better Call Saul, he hosts bingo. I'm going to get out there and, just something to have fun. Bring something out to the mass.
B10.
Oh, I do bingo all the time.
I-17.
I can't wait for B4.
Here's how you call bingo. You find, when I call bingo, I just lock in on the oldest woman I can find in the audience. And as soon as she's done looking at her numbers, that's when you call the next one. Because they'll give you hell. They will give you hell.
They're serious
if
there,
you
man.
are too slow or if you are too fast, you will get booed.
We got a bingo here.
That is a great point. I'm going to take that.
And when somebody yells bingo, I always say, hold your cards. He doesn't look that smart. That always goes over well.
I'm ready for it.
People, you really got to encourage, rip up your cards, throw them at the winner. A little pushy, shovey.
All right, I'll bring a little attitude with me. I'll get ready for it. But
all right, remind people of that again.
It's all right. So oldnationalcenter.com. We got all the information. It's Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 7 p.m. Free to get in, all ages, pet friendly, food options, full bar. Basically, it's a glorified chance to get together, have some drinks.
But you need no ticket. And does it ever fill up where you have to shut the gates down?
Do not need a ticket. No, it'll be coming in, and then if we get to a point where we've reached our capacity, it would be a system where you'd have to wait to get in.
So get there early is what you're saying. Get there for bingo.
We're really serving it that the flow of the event is not meant for you to be there for 3 or 4 hours like a traditional concert. You're going to come in, make it a part of your day, come in and come out.
I don't want to tell you your business.
No, go ahead.
But you just said full bar, bingo.
Yeah.
But you don't want people to hang out for 3 hours. You don't know the Catholics.
Well,
you give us a full bar and bingo, we're going to be there all night.
That's why bingo's only an hour. Bingo's going to be an hour, then the live music will start at 2 o'clock.
Then there is going to be some pushy shovey.
So, then we'll get them to come back on Sunday during the 1 o'clock hour for the second hour of bingo.
If you could offer mass, that would be awesome.
You know, the idea of the space really could be anything we want it to be. We've been in touch with a lot of groups to see if they want to do something because people want to be out and safely and securely do the activities that they miss. So we have been in talks with churches, groups that are just looking for that spot that they can come together. But we know what we're doing is open to the public Saturdays and Sundays.
I will tell you this, Monsignor Shadle from St. Luke's, if you allow him to take up a collection, he'll be there in a minute. So.
Well, tell him to hit me up through the website, oldnationalcenter.com, for all the info.
It's Jimi Hendrix. Good to see you again, man. Thanks for coming out here.
It's good to be back. It's good to be talking
Once you start to put the wheels back in
and,
motion again, you let me know.
You know, I wish I had some concert tickets to bring with me.
I wish you did too.
I gave your Backyard Barbecue winners some shirts, the best I could offer right now, but we do look forward to being back and better than ever. But for now, check out Live from the Lot.
Jimi Hendrix, Live Nation, Pat Sullivan, Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
Thanks,
9 a.m. tomorrow morning, WIBC.
9:06, I'm going to get there early, 9:03.
Gotcha. Just like I did today.
That's right.
Pat Sullivan, Jimi Hendrix.
Thanks,
Thank you guys very much. Backyard Bourbon broadcast at the Maggie's in Greenfield. Heaven Hill Distillery. Brent Halvers is going to join us coming up. Thank you to Ryan Stoltz, New Belgium Brewery. Thank you to my friends at Ford's Garage and Connecticut Water. I'll give you that deal with Joe coming up again in a minute. 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
See IndyCar in person and enjoy great camping in 2021 at Road America. The $111 4-day tickets available for a limited time at roadamerica.com.
In these uncertain times, many people are concerned about their health, and that can trigger anxiety and stress.
We know many smokers want to quit. That's why we're offering free nicotine replacement products to help. You can get 2 weeks of patches, gum, or lozenges free while supplies last.
Hey, we understand. In times like this, people are ready to quit. And Quit Now Indiana has a better way. Say goodbye to smoking. And quit on your terms, at your pace.
Quit Now Indiana will help you break your tobacco addiction.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can quit your way with the tools and support you need.
No lectures.
No pressure.
Just free help.
Life is too short.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW today.
Hey, John here for FanDuel Sportsbook. The postseason of the NBA is back coming up tomorrow, and they at FanDuel Sportsbook have a great offer for you. You can get a special plus 200 odds on any team to make the NBA Finals. $10 down and your chance to win 200, and you can pick any team, even the favorites. And if you pick correctly, FanDuel will get you your payout in as little as 24 hours. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now. Get started by signing up with my promo code, thank you, JMV. That's promo code JMV. At FanDuel Sportsbook. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. 21 plus, President Indiana, new users only, must wager on designated Boost Market, max bonus, $200. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
How much do you need to save for retirement? Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, founder of Edelman Financial Engines. The question's simple, but the calculation can be complex. How much you need to save for retirement depends on how much income you want, what outside sources you'll have, like Social Security and pensions. And here's the good news. You don't have to guess. We can give you the answer. For more than 32 years, we've shown people just like you how much you need to save for retirement and how to invest it. And now's your chance. Call us for the personal financial advice and investment management services you need with local offices to serve you. At Edelman Financial Engines, we're happy to help you whether you have a little to invest or a lot, or anything in between. Come see why thousands of folks just like you rely on Edelman Financial Engines. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com, your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in just 3 easy steps. 1. Get your free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with your check in as little as 30 minutes. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Hey, John here for Forum Credit Union. Forum Credit Union, my man Kevin and the gang are absolutely fantastic. Simply put, a variety of reasons where they're helping you out, and this one is close to my heart because you know how much I love our teachers, our educators. It's different, certainly for them and for students right now to start school, and Forum Credit Union is here to help by awarding $25,000 in educator grants. It's easy to sign up, and grants can be used for classroom materials and items needed to support virtual learning. I know a lot of you are either at home e-learning, some of you are on a hybrid schedule, some of you are back, but all of this is confusing and expensive, and Forum Credit Union is there for our teachers and educators. Forum, in fact, has awarded over $150,000 to local classrooms since 2014. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Forum Credit Union. Visit forumcu.com to learn more and sign up today.
When it comes to working at Geico, our best advocates are our employees, like Maxine. But since she is so focused on growing her career, we hired an actor to read her story.
At Geico, I love mentoring the new associates to help them make this a career and not just a job.
And with new opportunities and job stability, Geico has been helping people grow their careers for over 75 years. The only downside, she still hasn't met the gecko. Where are you, fella?
Ready to start your career, Indy? We're hiring claim sales and service agents. Apply online today at geico.job/Indy.
Hey, it's JMV for Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Around for 100 years. They have what you need, including air purification and the iWave, the most advanced air purification system anywhere. Right now, you can save $125 just by mentioning to John and Chris my name. Also, know this, Love Heating and Air Conditioning, following CDC recommended guidelines to maintain your health and safety. 317-353-2141. They're the best. Love-HVAC.com today.
If you love one-of-a-kind treasures or colored gemstones like fine rubies, sapphires, or emeralds, Pierce Jewelers is the place to go. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Backyard Bourbon broadcast at Greenfield. The Meggies. Zach is here. Jill is here. We're having a great time with all their friends, too. I'm telling you what, if you think you're a friend of Zach and Jill Meggie and you're not here, maybe you're not as good a friend as you thought you were. Maybe, just maybe. No, it's an outstanding place. A couple of things we hit today. The Colts are reducing, according to reports, 15% capacity inside Lucas Oil Stadium to start the NFL season. We'll see if they end up having anybody at all, but as of right now, 15%. We talked about the Pacers coaching search, the NBA restarting coming up tomorrow, and the Big Ten has been reported by Bruce Feldman is going to try to play here, possibly playing football again later in the fall or beginning in January, and there are like tweets going on that, and this is just, you can take this for what it's worth, the players' parent apparently had tweeted that somebody had heard through Purdue that Jeff Brom expected them to play. All that is just hearsay and rumor stuff, but those are some of the facts. I shouldn't say facts. Those are some of the stories that are floating around Twitter, if you're following that on this Friday. Brent Halverson of Heaven Hill Distillery is here. Another fantastic event.
John, how about this beautiful day after a shaky start, right? A little rainy today, and
yes,
the sky's cleared. And Zach and Jill, what a beautiful place they've had. Congrats on the win here. It's wonderful to be out.
Yes,
we've got to. Hey, I want to go real quick though.
Yeah,
probably one of the most classic entrances I've ever seen to a backyard barbecue
With two cops?
broadcast with 2 cops today, and you walking in.
Oh, I'm trying. Yeah, no.
You called me and said, "Hey, what's the address again?" I said, "Oh, here it is." And time ticked on a little bit, and where's John at? All of a sudden, here you go. You got Greenfield's finest.
I was
bringing
right
you
in
up
the
here
middle, man.
style.
One in front, one in back.
So I have a question. How did that come about? Did they
I
pull you over for speeding or being lost?
I was way out west, and I was going through a roundabout, and I saw him, and I waved him, and I followed him, and they both pulled over for me. And I said, "Hey, man, I can't find this place." And they were my phone was taking me in the wrong direction, that you give me the directions. And they said, "Hey, no, it's back that way." And he started explaining it. Look for Oak Boulevard or whatever. And I go, "Dude, I can't. I don't even." He goes, "Hey, we'll just take you."
That's
so,
awesome.
all right. So I said, "Come on and eat on us and
That's
come out
great.
and meet everybody." And
Great
come on
guys,
here.
dude. I had the
Yes.
pleasure to talk to them. I mean, they're just really, really good guys.
Andrew and Brock of the Greenfield Police
Andrew and
Department.
Brock. Well, thank you, gentlemen,
Excellent
for getting
dudes.
John to the location today.
Yes.
And again, I don't. That's gonna be tough to top in your ways of
yes, it will.
moving forward next year when we get to the.
Yes, it will.
It's gonna be interesting, but
It goes so quick doing this too, man. I mean,
does.
just like yesterday, we were talking about having the first one up in McCordsville, and here we are at the end.
That's it. I know it does go fast, and hey, it's a great time of year to be out and doing this, and again, great people around. Zach and Jill, awesome place, awesome host. Congrats on the big win here. Just not a better place or a better time right now, so we're good.
No, it's
Love
not. This is a great place, and Heaven Hill Distillery's just doing what it does right now, man. I saw the products all lined up and ready to rock up there.
We got a few things over there, John. I need to refresh you, it might look like, but I
need refreshed.
I did bring a shot of Evan Fire for us.
Let's do it here.
Hey,
all right.
and Clint Moss. I heard were you talking about Clint Moss yesterday?
Clint Moss was tweeting at me yesterday. He's the guy I just tweeted out
Can we
the
bring
video.
Clint over here?
Yeah, Clint, come over
Clint,
here.
come on.
Clint, don't cuss, though, okay? Do not cuss. Colts Happy Hour is coming up at the top of the hour. We'll have the latest on that, and I'll be hosting that, talking Colts football with you, coming up at the top of the hour. Backyard Bourbon broadcast here. Heaven Hill Distillery brings us to you. Brent Halverson and the Clint Moss.
The Clint Moss.
Social media is here. He's got his Indiana State Larry Bird jersey on. Are we all doing a shot here?
We are. I got 3 of them over here, so we might as well
stand
christen
up with you here.
The Clint Moss coming
Hello,
online
Clint.
with us.
Don't get that mic lost in your beard. All right.
No problem.
Yeah.
No promises.
All right, gentlemen,
all right.
cheers. A little Evan Williams Fire right here.
I like it. Thank you,
Salud.
guys.
Salud.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding.
Smooth,
Goes
isn't it?
down smooth.
It is. It really
it does.
Fantastic.
And Clint has a story because he's got a video of shooting Roman candles off his arms.
Ooh, I want to hear that. What do you got?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wasn't prepared for this. It was a project more than it was an
It
experience.
was a project, but you did it. You didn't get burned by it or
It was
anything.
probably the safest 4th of July I've ever had. 1,472 Roman candles divided by 2, one each arm.
Yeah.
Let them off into the sky.
That's a lot,
Represented
John.
America.
Yeah.
It was a proud moment of mine.
Yeah. You kind of look like a superhero with a beard out there,
I
man.
appreciate America. I like to celebrate the holiday. That's how I roll.
I appreciate America. That should be a shirt, right?
That should be. I
Hey,
appreciate
especially
America
in these
should be.
times, we need some kind of appreciation of America, right? We don't have enough of that right now.
But
so.
no, let's shout out to Zach, too. Zach has been awesome. You want to come over here? Final time here? You want to
Zach, come on and join us.
Zach was really good at the beginning, too.
Hey, he's got a good cocktail, though. I turned him on
I
to
think
a little...
Zach was flustered when I pulled up with 2 cops. And you guys are all in the garage going, what in the hell's happening here?
It's 2:58 and the cops are here already. We haven't started.
Yeah. You know my man Mark Gavin over there, too? Did you know him before this?
I've had the pleasure of meeting Mark.
Mark and Jen are
have
awesome.
not,
I love
so
Mark and
it's been
Jen.
Great crowd here. I mean, there's just a great bunch of people here. And you know who else we have here? The very first backyard barbecue for Lisa Holvers. My wife made it here today.
I saw Lisa
You see
over
that?
there. Hi, Lisa. Yes.
Got
that's
Beaver,
the first
Kelly.
one?
Well, look at this crew.
Is it the first one for her, really?
It is.
Wow.
She's never been.
I did not know that.
I had to drag her out today.
That's
but I told her we had some Evan Cherry, and she's a big Evan Cherry and Diet Coke fan. So we got her. We brought her out.
Speaking of the products, Heaven Hill Distillery tomorrow night on B105.7. I'm doing the JMV takeover 6 until 10. All requests Saturday night party per usual from 6 until 10. B105.7. And I'm giving away the bar restock, courtesy of Heaven Hill Distillery tomorrow night.
I saw you put a picture of it. That
Yes,
looks pretty good.
It does look good.
I like the way you laid it out, too. You had the bottles on the lawn
on
spread
my
there.
lawn, yeah, my backyard.
Freshly
right there.
cut, too.
It looked good. I
Mower from the mower shop?
I cut it
Was it
twice
there?
a week.
Yeah.
Mower shop and Fishers.
That's
there
my guy.
you go,
That's my guy, man. I love it.
I love
I love
Paul.
it.
Paul
Paul's
at the
great.
Mower shop and Fishers is an excellent dude.
He is.
There's no doubt. But, yeah, we got that, and we're giving that whole thing away tomorrow night, pictures and videos. And you still have time to hashtag JMV Takeover. Send those pictures and videos in of, how you're enjoying the show, this show, or any other show, and somebody's going to win that tomorrow night.
I'd love to see them, too, because what we do when we see, some great appeal like that, love to share it, too. Share it with our company. I mean, again, I'm honored to work for the Heaven Hill family, the Shapiro family. We're the largest family-owned distiller out there and the supplier out there. So anytime we get some great videos, some great footage, it's always fun. And again, we've got some great brands to be able to play with. So it's an honor to do it. But
shout out to our guy Jimmy Hendricks from Live Nation, who's here as
Jimmy
well. I haven't
Hendricks,
seen Jimmy in months.
Jimmy and I had a pleasure of talking a minute ago. It was great to catch up, and a lot of the same crew that we know and work with. And
Ryan Stoltz over there with New Belgium Brewing. Had a great year.
This is like an all-star cast. John.
It is. It is an all-star
cast. And the Ford Garage Burgers. I mean, man, I'm blown away by those.
They're
things.
huge too,
they are
man.
Huge.
They're not skimping. That's Richard at Ford's Garage. And by the way, as I mentioned too, my daughter's up in Westfield, but I know a lot of you go to Finch Creek to play your youth sports right now. If you're in and around the Noblesville area and you want dinner tonight, take home or whatever, it's Ford's Garage. Ask for the JMV burger too. It's on the menu and it's awesome. They provide this spread. It has been great.
We need to get them a JMV stamp, like they do the stamp on the burgers right there, little burn stamp.
We do a little.
Let's
burn
get a
stamp.
JMV suck stamp right on that.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for everything you do, man.
Pleasure, my friend. I can't believe this is the last one.
I know. I wish we could continue to go.
You know what we do have, John?
We got locks.
We have Larceny Locks and Louisville Shots coming up in 2 weeks.
Right.
In 2 weeks. So that's coming soon. We're going to be out at the casino sport books again. So
get everybody out there with us.
Come on out. Let's get some NFL going, man.
Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson.
Yep.
And then Indiana Grand outside of Shelbyville and Fairland. And Tony Renz is talking about doing a JMV takeover down there on the weekends, too, with us. So that's something else we may end up doing together.
We might have to do a lot down there.
Yes.
And plus, we get a little gambling to go in there with it, too. I'm excited, my friend.
Awesome. Well, thanks for all that you do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Man.
Hey, the Clint Moss,
yes.
for hanging out with us today in that
fun
bird
fact,
jersey.
I built Tony Renz's house.
You bet.
Wow. That is a fun fact.
That is a great fact.
That's a great fact.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. You've been fantastic. Thanks
awesome.
again. And thanks to the Miggy family here. We'll hang out. I got another hour for you in Colts Happy Hour coming up. Quick break, and we'll come back. The Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day coming up next. Somebody's going to get 50-50 split in wagering money and in dining funding. 50-50 VIP package up for grabs. Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson. Race of the Day is next.
School's back, and you can win $100 in a Sprout account from Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Swipe right much? At VergeCredit.com, we believe finding the right personal loan is a lot like finding someone to swipe right on. When it comes to finding the right match, you don't want any sketchy profiles. And you're more than just your desirability factor. Same applies when finding a personal loan. You deserve a loan that comes with full transparency, one that doesn't hide the details, a loan that says what you see is what you get. At VergeCredit.com, we believe in tailoring a loan that is personalized to fit you and your situation. So say bye-bye origination fees, catch you later prepayment fees, and peace out late fees. Because now there's a personal loan that comes with absolutely no shady fees whatsoever. We'll have you saying, you had me at no hidden fees. Find a good fit personal loan at VergeCredit.com. Trust us, you'll be swiping right. Lending decisions subject to eligibility, credit check, underwriting, and approval. Rates, terms, and conditions apply. Late payments, missed payments, or other defaults on your account may be reflected in your credit report. Loans are underwritten and originated in Salt Lake City, Utah by Stride Bank N.A. member FDIC and serviced by Verge Credit.
Hey, it's JMV for LD Smith Plumbing at 317-284-9526. They're the absolute best, and one thing you don't want to live without is a battery backup on your sump pump. And right now, LD Smith Plumbing is offering a free primary sump pump with installation on a battery backup system in your home. 317-284-9526. That's LD Smith Plumbing. The best at following CDC recommended guidelines. For more info online, ldsmithplumbing.com today. Hey, it's JMV. The largest and best medical hair restoration clinic in the Midwest is now open. PAI's We Grow Hair Indy new office is on the first floor in the Pyramids Building number 2. This is a great time to get your hair and confidence back. Here's Darren Andrews to explain what you'll find in We Grow Hair Indy's new facility.
We look forward to seeing you at our larger and more spacious facility. We now offer more comfort and space to help you grow your hair back.
From the Artist Robotic FUE and our trademark procedure multi-unit hair grafting
to the new FDA-approved Synetics lasers and PRP. Rest assured, we have the technology and experience to give you the best results.
Do what I did. Call 888-724-5129 for a free in-person or virtual evaluation right now. Call 888-724-5129 and see my results at WeGrowHairIndy.com. That's 888-724-5129. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Grow your hair back today.
Every game has 1,000 storylines. So if you've got an angle, a hunch, or some info you got from that guy in 10 fantasy leagues across the street, Unibet's got that bet. Unibet Sportsbook has all the bets you need for every game. Sign up today and get $30 to bet with. No deposit required. Download the app or visit in.unibet.com. Unibet Sportsbook. Crazy about the odds. Must be 21 or over to play and physically located in Indiana. Restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Only at Big O Tires, buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires now through September 20th. Big Labor Day savings only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
All right, here's Hoosier Park race of the day here. And we do this, Tuesday through Friday. Somebody's going to go 50-50 on us right here with betting money and with dining cash here. Doc Swan song goes to Lee Adams. Always Be With You, David Kahn. Crazy for Loving You, Graydon Hood. It's Roma Hall to Steve Clemmy. R from Out of a Cherry, Tim Rogers. Buckeye on Broadway, Troy Veeder. Timon is Evan Dyer. Mashia gets Therapeutic, and Storm It Rare is Fred Gary. Harrah's Hoosier Park race of the day on this Friday. Good luck.
The following is presented by the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. From Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino, it's time for the harness race of the day on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Handed it off and trotting from the outside. Tim and Az is hustled right out. Crazy for Loving You to the inside. Always Be With You comes out in third. Next is Doc Swan Song, but he's gapping fourth with Roma Hall there to his outside fifth. R from Out of Cherry trotting away sixth. Then it's Buckeye on Broadway in seventh. Therapeutic and Stormont Rare, the trailers, as they race over to the quarter-mile marker. Tim and as Peter Wren leading the way to the quarter, 27-4. And Wren will tap the brakes here a bit to rate the mile with Tim and as they trot down the backstretch. The lead is 2 lengths. Crazy for Loving You on the inside is second by 3. Always Be With You trots in third. Another 3.5 to Doc Swan Song. Then a break of 2.5, 3 lengths to Always Be With You. Field scattered a bit here as they arrive at the half. Tim and as unchallenged thus far. 56 seconds for the halftime as Crazy for Loving You sits right on the leader's back and waits patiently there. Always Be With You has closed the gap nicely. Doc Swan Song is still 2.5 lengths further back in fourth. And to the outside comes Buckeye on Broadway. He's advancing and coming on quickly for McCumber. Further back, off his back, is Therapeutic. And Roma Hall down along the pylons is dropping back as they reach the 3/4-mile marker. And off stride goes Crazy for Loving You. So it's Tim and Az out there by some 3-4 lengths now as they trot 3/4 and 125. Tim and Az leading for home to the inside and now chasing second. Always Be With You. And to the outside, Buckeye on Broadway. Down along the pylons comes Therapeutic. But it's Tim and Az. It's all Tim and Az. And it has been all Tim and Az as he opens up with every stride. Tim and Az taking the opener. Gate to wire. Therapeutic finishes second. Always Be With You. And Buckeye on Broadway. 154-1 for the mile.
Just minutes from Indy off I-69 in Anderson, Harrah's Hoosier Park has live standard-bred horse racing through November 21st, thanks in part to the Indiana Standard-Bred Breed Development Program. And keep listening for your chance to win with Harrah's Hoosier Park Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Monday, I'm planning on talking about 3 things. The NBA playoffs over the weekend, the Colts as they get ready for Game 1, and who the hell is the Pacers' new coach going to be? We'll talk about it Monday.
The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go!
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
No, the Harrah's Hoosier Park winner, Evan Dyer. He won the race of the day. Got the 50-50 in dining and in wagering from Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson. Timon with the win. That was 440. The place 340. The show 340. Therapeutic finished at 380 and 240 for place and show. Always Be With You was a show at 220, and the exacta payout was 1680. Trifecta payout, meanwhile, was 1025. That's a Harris Hoosier Park race of the day. Back with the Meggies right here. Final couple of moments of the show. I'm going to transition and still be here into Colts Happy Hour coming up here in a couple of minutes, and it is your show for the Colts coming up here at the top of the hour on 93.5 and 107.5 FM. The Fan. Kind of interesting, some things we've talked about today. Of course, the Pacers head coach, the 5 vacancies in the NBA, justifying, if you will, the Mike D'Antoni rumors or the Kenny Atkinson rumors, and what others may make a little bit of sense as far as the next head coach of the Pacers would be concerned. We were all over that. The restart of the NBA coming up on Saturday. That is tomorrow. We've done that. As well as talked at great length about the Colts. Did that with both Derek Schultz and Mike Wells a little bit earlier. A lot of people suggest that the Colts 13-win, a 12-win team. Are they going a little bit too far on that? I think the Vegas odds, Kyle, if I'm not mistaken on this, are around 9.5. So we're expecting maybe a 10-win team. A 10-win team would be in the ballpark for me right now. But aren't those the Vegas odds currently around 9.5?
I think it was at 8. I think it has climbed to 9.
That's what I thought.
And 9.5 in that range.
That's what I thought. And we talked about that, and obviously the Colts, both sides of the football. I mean, if there was one area that really concerned you, and I think we all would agree, it's just the simple depth. The offensive line has been, and you would expect it to be spectacular. But if you get an injury along that offensive line, and believe me, this Colts team has had a significant injury seemingly forever. If you get an injury on that offensive line and no depth seemingly along that offensive line, that could be a major issue. There's no question about that. Dave writes this: JMV as an ex-college football player, I and my parents would sign any waiver to play. I've been out since 1987 and still miss playing. The games mean that much to me. Let the Big Ten play. We'll see if that ends up happening, too, because apparently there is some conversation about refiring at some point in the fall and early in the winter. We'll follow that story, certainly, going into early next week. A quick shout-out to the Meggie family. Zach and Jill, thank you very much for having us. We're going to continue being here, but this portion of the show will make way for Colts Happy Hour. Heaven Hill Distillery and Brent Halverson, Ryan Stoltz, New Belgium Brewery, and Fat Tire. Thank you, Richard and Ford's Garage, and Joe, John, and Dennis with the hydration from Connecticut, as always. Thank you, guys. And Andrew and Brock from the Greenfield Police Department that got me here on time. I cannot thank those two incredibly nice dudes enough for doing just that. Shout out to the Greenfield PD. Cameron, Kyle, great job from you. Other side, Colts Happy Hour. An hour's worth of Colts conversation. You need it. Coming up next, 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com. Your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
In these uncertain times, many people are concerned about their health, and that can trigger anxiety and stress.
We know many smokers want to quit. That's why we're offering free nicotine replacement products to help. You can get 2 weeks of patches, gum, or lozenges free while supplies last.
Hey, we understand. In times like this, people are ready to quit. And Quit Now Indiana has a better way. Say goodbye to smoking. And quit on your terms, at your pace.
Quit Now Indiana will help you break your tobacco addiction.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can quit your way with the tools and support you need.
No lectures.
No pressure.
Just free help.
Life is too short.
Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW today.
This is Tim Wicker with Electric Plus, an electrical contractor powering Indiana with offices in Avon, Bloomington, Lafayette, and Kokomo. We lead the race in new construction, modernizations, and service repair. Our teams excel at industrial, commercial, healthcare, and 24/7 emergency coverage. Just like race car drivers desire to be the best, the mission of Electric Plus is to be the best electrical contractor, period. Our highly skilled professionals are ready to take the track when you call. For more information, please visit electricplus.com and let's go racing.
Hello, this is Rob Evans. At INHP, we believe everyone in Indianapolis deserves